Tanner Jeannot last night headed home right before the game started. Crazy story. And I hope he made it back. But his wife was due with their first child, and he did warm-ups, D-Mace. And the next thing you know, it was like he gets word that your wife is about to pop. You need to get home. You need to get to Nashville. And away he went. So a very, very late scratch. I don't know if you've ever had something like that happen in your career where a guy got told, shortly before kickoff, hey, change of plans. Your kid's coming. And they have to leave. Did you ever have anything like that?
Nah, no, I didn't. Not that I recall. I think all the guys had their kids during the off season. Mine were born in March and July, so I'm good. I was good. You got to plan right, man. You got to plan right. So there you go. But yeah, goodness, that is. You just got to hop on a plane and go.
Yeah, especially for the first. They're all important, but like the first, right? Like you got to be there. You got to be there. So I like I said, I hope he got back and everything went as planned and everything is all right. That's scary. That's got to be the worst plane ride ever coming back from Vegas. That's like 3.5 hours coming back, sitting there waiting. Just for that door to open to race to the hospital.
Well, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You just hope that everything's going, smoothly as far as the health of the mom and the child, and there's no complications. But after that, it's like, if you can't make it, you just hope, the parents are there to videotape it so you can at least go back and see, watch the whole process.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I hope, was she able to hold off until he got there? You would hope that was the case, but if not, then, as long as he was there, when she needed him, subsequently right after, that's important.
Yep. Did not go the Predators' way.
No.
Not a very good road trip at all. One they'll probably want to forget or delete and move on, or I don't know, maybe they harbor this one and use that as motivation for the stretch run, which they're currently in, and their next game against Philadelphia on Sunday. So
they were
just wasn't a very good. Wasn't a good night. A good night Tuesday. Wasn't a good night last night. Quite honestly, wasn't a good
West
game
Coast.
in Anaheim. Yeah, it just wasn't a good West Coast trip.
Yeah. They were all played last night. It was.
Oh, yeah.
You just saw. It seemed like Vegas was just much faster than they were. They got to the pucks quicker. It was like the Predators were just walking in sand. It was Vegas was smooth sailing. It's every puck Vegas got, and they hustled. They out-hit. They outshot. It was just, you can tell, and I'm sure they will never say it, but you can tell they were tired. They were just a tired team. You can tell. You could tell when they lost the other night, and you could tell last night.
Yep. But they don't have time to mess around.
No.
They can't be having too many of these games. Because,
Dallas won yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Everybody's Vegas won. That was the key. Those were two huge, you had an opportunity to put some real distance between you and Vegas because, Vegas is vying for one of those wild card spots. I guess if they get hot, nothing is out of the question. There can be a whole lot of shifting the rest of the way because things are pretty tight. Other than Colorado, I think it's pretty much set in stone. They're going to be the 1 seed. They're going to win the Central. But everything else is up for grabs between these teams that we're talking about. And, Predators still in that number 1 wild card spot, but since Dallas won, they're in the second wild card spot, and Vegas is 1 point behind. But they're going to have to kick things in gear because, it does kind of look like maybe, I don't know if fatigue is the right word, but maybe the the long stretch of a season, look, it's a grind, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this many times over the years. That was game 65 last night, and it's a grind. And, look, Tanner Jeannot is really, really important to them. But you can't look like that just because Tanner Jeannot is not in the lineup. And I get it, Dante Fabro wasn't in the lineup, and Borowiecki wasn't in the lineup, and Matt Benning wasn't in the lineup, but still, like, you still got a lot. Look, you got a lot of other really, really good players. You have to be able to just. Vegas didn't have a lot of important pieces in the lineup. LA didn't have a lot of important pieces in their lineup, and both of them came away with 6-1 victories. So you do wonder. You hope there's, this is not the sign of things to come, where this is a really bad patch for the Predators. What's interesting is, Derek, they really haven't had this. I mean, they've had bad games. I mean, you're going to have them in the course of a long season. But they haven't really had any, like, real bad patches, right? And this is only 2 games, and I suspect they'll turn things around Sunday night at Bridgestone Arena against the Flyers, a team they just played over a week ago, 8 days ago to be exact, and they lost 5-4. So I suspect they will be highly motivated in the 2 very good, very winnable games, coming up with these 2 home games. You can't say that in the NHL, because the NHL is like any professional sport, as we've learned with the Titans and anybody else, right? Like, you can't go on and start marking things as W, but you can look at them and say, realistically, like, if they do what they're supposed to do, they should win the game. They should win these next 2 games, especially how they just played on this road trip.
Yeah, you would think that they come back home and regroup, have a few days to rest, and get their skating legs back underneath them, and make another push here at home. That's what you hope will happen, and that's what. Yeah, I mean, their track record says they come back and they play much better. But I was just surprised to see how they played the last 2 games, and particularly this one, because. And I'm not saying this is foreshadowing anything, but I just think Vegas, they just completely outplayed them. It just seemed like every facet, they just completely outplayed them. And you don't see that too many times with the Nashville Predator team, especially when it comes to grit and hustle. And I think Vegas out-hustled them. And they got to the puck much quicker than the Nashville Predators did. So, again, you just hope they come back and, get some rest and regroup.
Yeah, clearly they're going to, obviously today they're off, and I don't know what they'll do tomorrow, if they'll do anything. I don't know.
I think you got to let them rest.
I was going to say, John Hines has, got a better pulse on the team than I do. But, there's got to be a reset button somewhere. And you could tell last night in his post-game comments. I mean, there wasn't much to say, right? There's no point in belaboring. Everybody saw it. It's not like he needed to point out what happened last night. You put it out there. Anybody that watched, any portion of the game could see it wasn't their night. I mean, it wasn't going to happen. And I think the same thing could be said in the game in Los Angeles on Tuesday night. And like I said, they didn't play particularly great to start this West Coast trip in Anaheim. I mean, the first period in particular was not good at all.
No,
but they came back, and
they finally kicked it into gear.
Yeah, they kicked it in gear, and they took over, and they won. And they had a big third period, but they just couldn't do it the last 2 games. But like I said, he'll know what to do. It may be just meetings. It may, I don't know. But today they're traveling back. Today will be an off day, and then what they decide to do tomorrow or don't do leading up to Sunday's game. Remember, Sunday is a 5 p.m. puck drop, so keep that in mind. A couple hours earlier than normal. I have pregame at 4. I don't see. Let's see if I've got a name here. Jordan from Franklin on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. My firstborn was born via emergency C-section, so didn't get to watch, but saw pictures. Obviously, I have no idea what the circumstances were. I just know that Tanner Jeannot was in warm-ups, and the next thing you know, he was gone. He gone, and he was headed back to Nashville. So I just hope that he made it back to see his first child born. Jeff on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com, says, I know he's been back on for a while now, but I just want to say I'm really glad that Derek is back on this show. Thanks. Jeff, we agree 100%.
Thank you,
We're
Jeff.
happy
I
to
appreciate
have
it.
D-Mace back on the show. We've picked up where we left off for many, many years. At least I feel that way.
Oh, yeah. It's just a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Just boom, back in. Keep going. It was like the
trucking
train was
on.
going, and I just jumped on. Didn't even have to stop.
Well, speaking of that, let's do that on the other side. NCAA tournament got cranked up last night, and boy, oh boy, some number ones went home too. They were like Tanner Jeannot. They played, though, but then they're on their way home. Their season is over. We'll discuss that next year on the DDC ESPN 102.5 The Game.
So, what is Jared Stillman going to say this afternoon?
You got to play if you want to earn $14.6 million next year.
Oh, brother, here we go.
But I'm done on investing money in dudes that can't get on the field.
Tune in to Stillman and Company, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
This is some serious stuff right here.
Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Shine down in 3, 2, 1.
Cut the car! The hottest rock band on the planet, Shine Down. May 4th, Bridgestone Arena.
It's about to get
With special guests, The Pretty Reckless and Diamante. Shine Down. Tickets are on sale now at the box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by 102.9 The Buzz, Nashville's rock station.
This hour of sports brought to you by FlexCar.com. Hate buying a car? Check out FlexCar.com. FlexCar has made it easy to have the car of your dreams for a low weekly rate plus mileage. There's seriously never been an easier way to get the car you want. Visit FlexCar.com today and drive tomorrow.
Did you know that about 80% of new home buyers don't ever shop around for the best mortgage loan? That's a huge mistake. Hey, Willie Daunic here. Listen. Not all mortgages are created equal, and I'm here to prove it with Loan Pronto. People who use Loan Pronto save on average $3,500 just in closing costs. On top of that, they get a better rate, which saves them thousands more every year. Your banker or agents go to lender. They're fine people, but don't assume they're giving you the best deal. Call Loan Pronto for a quick second opinion or go to loanpronto.com. I'll bet they can get you a better loan, a lower rate, without all those annoying closing costs. What have you got to lose? You compare costs on everything else in your life. Why not do the same with your mortgage? Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
When Smashville wants to rock. Nashville's rock station. 102.9 The Buzz.
This is Tanner Jeannot, and this is Smashville.
And now down the right wing side, Tanner Jeannot. His shot, he scored! Tanner Jeannot with the shot!
This is the flagship of the Nashville Predators Radio Network. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Back here on the DDC, there is something that we are going to address.
We need to address it now.
You want to go on and do it now?
Yeah, because I was trying to.
Okay.
Because and I'm sorry, listeners, because we were going to talk about the NCAA tournament last night, which it was great, and like Darren said, a few number ones fell, or at least, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a few
Arizona
of them, yeah.
and Gonzaga.
Absolutely. The Zags, they gone. Gonzaga is gone.
The 2 top seeds.
Exactly. They're gone. But quickly, I want to
well, no, it's not going to be quickly. Like I mean,
and not
I was
quickly.
trying to say that when we had more time and we were going to get into this, but we just need to get into it.
Exactly, because obviously somebody's listening, which is cool with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I just told Elijah, I said, how can I, because I don't like to I don't like to get into this Twitter thing back and forth, like publicly. I want to send him a DM, so it's just between he and I, but I can't. I guess you got to follow him and then send him a DM. I don't know how it happens, or he might have his DM closed. I don't know. But it is what it is. But obviously AJ's either listening or someone told him about what I said,
well, I hope he was listening.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. One, I want A.J. Brown to be listening to our show, and we know a lot of these players are listening to our show. But I hope he was listening to it firsthand, because I always get nervous when you're getting information secondhand.
Exactly.
Right? Unless somebody was recording what was being said, or they went to our, to thegamenashville.com and pulled up the audio and played it for him so he could literally hear what was coming out of your mouth. I always hate, the secondhand information, because there's a chance that it's not exactly what you said.
Exactly.
True?
No, absolutely.
Because we've had these conversations before. You have said, look, the one thing that I've always appreciated about D-Mace and why we've always gotten along on this show and we've always had a lot of fun and why we've always had a lot of success on this show is because we want to be fair, but we also want to keep it real. And sometimes keeping it real sucks, because it means saying stuff that, makes people mad. And, Derek had a front row seat. I hated doing it, but I had to be real. I have to be me. Derek has to be him. Willie has to be. Everybody's been on the show. We have to be real with ourselves and with you, the listeners. And when I was saying, hey, Mariota's just not good enough, people just got so mad. Like, it's personal. Like, I don't like him. And I hated always having to say, I like Marcus Mariota. He's a great person, but we're talking about him as an everyday quarterback, and I don't think he's good enough. And I hated that. I hated saying that all the time about Mariota, because I truly believed he wasn't good enough. And sometimes you have to do that. You took a pretty – you had some words to say about Taylor Lewan early in his career that, you know what? If I'm Taylor Lewan, I would respect that. You're a guy that played in the league for 16 years. I would hope that these guys would listen to what you said. You have to be doing something right to last as long as you did in the league. And so Derek, to set this up before you get into this, D-Mace, Derek is honest, okay? He doesn't have vendettas with people. He doesn't have a bone to pick. He's not trying to be shock jock. He's not trying to get our show attention. He just speaks the truth. He speaks what he believes. And we had some pretty candid conversations this week on the show about A.J. Brown's tweet. And it's gotten back to him. I hope it's because he was listening and he heard it firsthand, and I hope it wasn't secondhand information. But A.J. Brown has felt the need to tweet back at you. So I'm gonna let you go from here.
Yeah, so I'm not on Twitter as much as a lot of other people are. It's just I get on every once in a while, but it's really not my thing. It's there. But I said some things about his tweet, which, again, they were my truth. Just like his truth was what he put out. And, again, it didn't slander the guy, didn't say anything bad about him. But in a locker room that when everyone is piling on the quarterback in the offseason or subsequently after the playoff game, and then you put this out, it does make one think, like, what's really going on? Now, he came back and clarified it, and this is his tweet. I like how he phrased this, too, because I could be his dad. I'm old enough to be his dad. He says, at Derek Mason, Mr. Mason.
Could be respectful. Too,
Yeah, exactly, and it's respectful. That's why I appreciate that. It is what it is, Mr. Mason. I just want to say you are completely wrong, sir. And hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. Just because you and people may have a problem with right doesn't mean I do. I don't have a problem with right. Did I ever say I had a problem with right? I mean, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I've always, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. It is what it is. If you're right, it is what it is. Our locker room is fine, and it's behind him, and I don't take shots at people without directly addressing them like how I'm directly addressing you. And I get it. That's great. That's great. But in this world of football, when you do things like that and everyone's already questioning your quarterback, it makes one think that what's really going on. That's all I was saying. I would have never, and I repeat, never and never have I, said anything that would have put my quarterback or anybody else on my team in a position where they may question whether I'm a good teammate to them or not. And I'm not saying that AJ is not a good teammate to Ryan, because I'm pretty sure he is, and vice versa. But when you put stuff out like that in regards to another guy you play with, then it does make one think what's really going on in the locker room. I gave the analogy of I left Tennessee. I go to Baltimore. Kyle Bowler is the quarterback. Steve McNair gets, released by the Titans. And if I come out and say, because I don't know if he's coming here or not, I didn't know. If I say Steve McNair was the best leader I've ever been around, and everybody's questioning the quarterback in the room already, which they were at the time, it makes that quarterback feel a certain way. That's all I was saying. I would have never put my quarterback, whom is quarterbacking my team, in a position that he thinks that I don't believe in him. In no way, no shape, no form. I'm not saying AJ doesn't believe in Ryan. But when you put things out there like that, it does make one, and it probably was harmless. And it probably was, hey, I just want to congratulate my boy for potentially a starting job with the Atlanta Falcons. If that's indeed the case, which I'm sure it was, then say that. Because again, had Ryan said that about one of his receivers that he played with, AJ would have probably felt a certain way. I know I probably would have as a player, thinking I'm the number one guy on this team as far as catching passes, but you say that about someone else, what's really going on here? Then I would have to have a talk with the guy that said it. Not address the people that are talking about it. But I respect AJ that he, at me. I would have rathered, me when I was, getting ready to address him. I wanted to do it through a DM because I don't want to get back and forth with this tweeting stuff. I mean, again, he could be my son, so that's not me. But I couldn't figure, I'm not that tech savvy, so I couldn't figure it out. So I figure I just address it. Again, and like I said yesterday, he's that dude for the Titans. He's their number one guy, and he's proven it. But and you got to understand, when you're the number one guy, when that crown is on your head, okay, you can't say things like that. Just like we hold the quarterback to a certain standard, they can't say anything about anybody. They got to keep it even keel no matter what happens. It's the same for you. Like Derrick Henry, he can't say if the offensive line played horrible, Derrick Henry can't say they played horrible, can he? No, because they look at Derrick Henry as the leader. He's that guy. So however he may feel, he can't publicly say it. He just won't, because he understands the ripple effects that it might have on his offensive line and the people in the locker room. All I'm saying to AJ was, listen, when you say things like that, it makes people start to wonder, especially when everyone's already dumping on your quarterback already, and they're questioning whether he is that guy. And then you come and you say that, which it was your truth. Absolutely. And I respect that. As I said yesterday, I have no problem with the truth, which makes me believe someone told him, you know, he got it secondhand, which I don't like the whole secondhand crap. But I'm glad he addressed me, so now I'm addressing him back. You know, he's a really good player. He's going to have success. But in situations like that, and he's still learning as an NFL player, you can't say things like that when everyone's questioning your quarterback in the locker room. You and Ryan may have a great relationship, and I'm pretty sure y'all do. But when you say things like that, it makes not just people like me, it makes everybody else question what's really going on, you know? So there it is. But again, I am glad he addressed me. You know, I'm glad that hopefully, you know, if he didn't hear it, someone played it back for him, the whole thing, and not just slice it up or tell it in their words. Because as a leader on that team, as he is, there are things you can't say publicly, and there are things you can. It's just the way it is.
Okay, so this is not going anywhere. Okay, we are going to continue the discussion, but we are going to talk to Betty Wiseman on the other side because it was a really, really cool story in Knoxville. But this is not going away. We are going to be discussing this today because this just happened a little bit. We were trying to save it where we had kind of a good block of time because I could tell Derek really, really wanted to talk about this, but we will get right back into this. But first, we're going to talk to Betty on the other side here on the DDC, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Every Friday at 8:30 on Robby and Rexrode, we talk with the legend, Terry Chris, about all things Nashville Predators, presented by Copper Branch on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's March, and you got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you? We hope you feel lucky, because we're handing out luck all month long in Newton. We have great deals in both our sales and service departments. We have deals on the cars, trucks, and SUVs you've been looking for. That's not all. We're going to give you top dollar for your trade, and we're going to give you a great deal on your next car. Essentially, save you money and make you money at the same time. Thomas Jefferson once said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more of it I have." Well, at Newton, we're here ready to work hard for you to see if we're lucky enough to earn your business. Your luck can begin at home by starting your deal with Newton FastPass. Don't wait. Find your luck at NewtonChevroletBuickGMC.com. See website for details. No shame for the lame disclaim.
Looking to score with a Delta 8? Meet your new one-stop shop for anything and everything Delta 8. D8 Superstore has Delta 8 vapes, gummies, dabs, flour, and more. Backed by their years of extensive product research and testing, they offer the best prices, selection, and quality on the market. Get free shipping on every order with customer support that responds in minutes. So don't wait. Try their Delta 8. Shop with us at D8Superstore.com.
Thinking about making a change? You've put in the years and had success, but ready for something more? Well, good news. Little Guys Movers is looking for folks just like you to own and operate their very own Little Guys Movers franchise. From Broadway to Brentwood to Mount Juliet, if you can hear my voice, there's an affordable, profitable Little Guys franchise opportunity nearby. Use your existing 401k to invest in yourself. Financing options are available. Join a team with 30 plus years of growth and good times. Learn more at littleguysfranchise.com and then make that call.
Sunday. Hey, Chase Elliott here. Hi, it's William Byron. Kevin Harvick. Hey, it's Joey Logano. Green flag.
The stars of the NASCAR Cup Series turn left and right on the road course at the Circuit of the Americas for the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix. Coverage begins at 1:30
on ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Ryan Johansson. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Thank you, Joey. Back here on the DDC this Friday morning. Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Boy, she got a lot of FaceTime on television on Monday night. The Lady Bruins were taking on the Lady Vols in Knoxville. Boy, she was getting a lot of FaceTime. And I do wonder when Betty knew all this was happening. She is on the line with us. Belmont Betty Wiseman
Hello.
now joins us. Betty, everybody was talking about it. It was so cool to see you in the stands and on television and how much they were showing you. When did you know you were getting blown up on TV?
Well, sometime during the game, people were beginning to show me some pictures, and wow, I didn't know all that was happening, but I'm going to tell you, I had the best time of my life in those stands.
Well, I can tell you, you looked like you were having the best time of your life in the stands. And just like you said, oh, by the way, especially in the second half, it ended up being a fantastic game. I mean, Belmont had the lead by a point late in the game.
How about that? Oh, yeah, that's, I still feel tingles in my body when I think about that game and how close we came, and you think you've got it won, and then it's just a credit to our young women and our coaching staff that I think that's taken us to another level. That's the excitement of it all, that we can play with people.
Right. And so, by the way, already coming off a tournament win over Oregon in the first round. This was a second-round matchup, so really cool story. How tough is it, or is it? I don't know. I want to hear your answer. You're in the stands as a fan. You're having a great time. You're enjoying a great basketball game. You're getting a lot of face time, but you still have those competitive juices. You still have that coach mentality. Like, how much do you break out into that when you're watching games, or can you just truly root on this team and just be a fan in the stands? How does that work for you?
Well, I can tell you this. I'm their number one fan. I've sat on those sidelines, and I have made all those decisions. And at my age, I really have no desire to be on that sideline. But I'm, in my mind, I'm right there with Bart and his coaching staff. And let me stop right now and just say we've got the best coaching staff in America, and we've known that. And just hats off to Bart Brooks and how he has put a great staff together. And we love that guy and how everything, who he is, his years of experience translates into just a great job with our women. Our women love him. They will go to bat for him. They'll go to work for him. And he's just hats off to Belmont women's basketball team and coaches. So, I don't have no desire to do any coaching, but once a coach, always a coach when you're sitting and watching a game, and you're invested in that. And my whole life has been invested in that team, and I just want to do whatever I can to, first of all, enjoy it and support them and encourage them and let them know that the person who founded this program is still on the sidelines with them, and I will be as long as I can.
We just had Bart Brooks on recently, and you're right. He has done an unbelievable job. He's great to talk to. So tell us how Be Like Belmont Betty, how these T-shirts came about in quick fashion. I mean, that game was Monday night. Betty, it's Friday. And these T-shirts are available and ready to be sold for $25, and it goes for a good cause. How did all this happen?
Hey, guys, I don't have a clue. All I do is I don't have a clue. I just look on my computer and I get all these emails and I'm saying, oh, my goodness, what have I done? and then they call and ask me if they can proceed. And I said, first of all, you talk to women's basketball coaches, and I don't want to do anything to take away from these women and these coaches and what they've done. And, I've been at Belmont a long time, guys, and that's my home, and I love that place, and I love the sports program over there. And I'm going to tell you, I'll do just about anything for Belmont and for women's basketball. So I just said, hey, whatever it takes, just go for it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that the proceeds are going to a really a really significant program in athletics, and that's our sports ministry, our sports evangelism mission trip. So it's for a good cause, and if you can just put my face on a shirt and raise money for missions, then do it.
That is absolutely wonderful. We're talking with Betty Wiseman, affectionately known as Belmont Betty. Now, I'm gonna still call you Coach because, like you said, once a coach, always a coach. You started this program there, the women's program in Belmont. How proud are you in regards to how this program has grown, but how women's college basketball has grown?
Wow. I couldn't be prouder, especially since it's the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and we're celebrating that this season. So, when we began, that was before Title IX. That was in '72. We started our program in '68, and I didn't really know what I was doing, except I just felt like women were being cheated because there were no places to play, and so I began this program from scratch, and just to wade through that and be a part of the entire process. How blessed am I, guys? How blessed am I to still be a part of the program after 54 years, and I have heard from my emails just blowing up, my telephone, my text from former players. That's what's been interesting. Our former players are just so excited for the team, and that, I always say, you're a part of this. You helped get us to where we are today and what we experienced in the tournament in Knoxville. And I honestly believe that we've gone to the next level now, and getting there has been a long time coming, but I couldn't be more excited for our women's basketball program and all of our alumni who bought into it early and didn't have what we have now. They went through some very difficult times in terms of getting people to play early on, but it was all about opportunity and for women. And I celebrate Title IX, guys, every day in my life because I've had the privilege of walking that journey and seeing us go from before until to where it is today. And that's a real blessing in my life, and I celebrate that.
You realize there's real pressure on Bart Brooks now moving forward because you're like in the same category as Sister Jean. Like the Loyola Chicago has to get to the tournament every year and make noise so Sister Jean can get some FaceTime. The Lady Bruins got to get to the tournament every year and get some FaceTime for Belmont Betty.
Well, I don't know about that, but if we're there, I guarantee you I'm going to be there as long as God is willing. And I don't know. I hesitate to go out my front door. I'm afraid somebody's out here filming me.
All right, real quick, Betty, because it does mean a lot to you, and you brought up where this is going and where it's going to help some of the proceeds from these T-shirt sales, the Betty Wiseman Mission Fund. Tell everybody about it. Let's end on that and some of the work that has been done behind the scenes and kind of how this is going to help you moving forward.
Well, we started this program in the mid-'90s, and it was kind of a result of my own heart for missions and sharing my faith through the avenue and of sports. And so I began in the mid-'90s to take teams all over the world through different organizations to reach out to people, especially young people, children, and adults alike who came to watch. And so I think to whom much is given, much is required. And we are to go out our front doors and love, spread love and hope and joy and our faith with people. So that program's been in existence for a long time, and when I retired, a fund was set up in my name, and for people to give to continue these trips. And anytime we can do anything to take these student athletes into another part of the world and let them see how the world lives, the other part of the world lives, and to spread hope and joy and to love people, to share our faith. It's just a big part of my own life and how I live, and it's a big opportunity for these student athletes. They get in touch with themselves and what they think about life itself, value, and obviously work with people. So it's been a life-changing experience for student athletes. I've seen it through the years. I have the privilege of still going over and occasionally meeting with Ryan Nisus, who is now in charge of that program. We had a reunion at homecoming, brought a lot of people back to tell stories, to revisit, to remember. So we have a group going to Alaska. It's been on hold for a couple of years because of COVID, but we have our first team going to Alaska to do ministry in May, so athletes, and so we're excited to get that back up and running. We're just waiting for the okay to travel. And so whatever these T-shirts Belmont Betty can bring in financially to support this ministry that we have in athletics, it's all for these athletes to have those kinds of experiences.
Betty, it was an honor and a pleasure for you to come on this show and talk with us. We'll get the word on how to get these shirts. Thanks so much for doing this, and we would love to talk to you down the road. Best of luck with everything.
Hey, have you gotten your shirts yet?
Not yet, but we're going to.
Send me a picture. Get your shirts and send me a picture.
We will do that. Betty, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Betty Wiseman.
Bye-bye.
Belmont Betty.
Hey, we got to get our shirts now, Darren.
Oh, we got to get them.
That's
Hope
how
they
it
got
is.
big boy shirts. Hope they got it. I haven't looked at the sizes yet, but you need to go to BelmontBrewingClub.com. And like I said, $5 of each sale of the shirt will go to the Betty Wiseman Mission Fund. So really, really appreciate her doing that. We're going to come back. A lot of people weighing in. I know we want to get back into what we were talking about with A.J. Brown. And we need to do that because there's more to be said. So let's do that when we come back, Derek. But right now I'm going to talk to you about the place I've been talking about for several weeks now. That's Wager. They're based right here in Nashville. It has been so much fun. What a crazy night last night of college hoops. Again, 2 number ones going down. Yeah, I mean, what a way to start Sweet 16 action, right? Man, upsets galore. Arkansas takes down Gonzaga. I had Arkansas, so all those people that took my Arkansas bets and took Gonzaga, sorry, not sorry. Houston taking down Arizona, basically led wire to wire. I didn't have that one. I was wrong. You guys took me on that one. But it has been so much fun. All the people listening to the show and jumping on Wager and having fun with these games. Let's keep it going. It's been so much fun being able to bet on these games with you, especially when I win. I'll be honest. So shout out to everybody who's been challenging the 1025 The Game community at C Sprink and at Vols OG, at Parlay Petty. Had lots of bets yesterday going out there. Got a ton of more wagers going tonight. So jump on there. If you haven't heard about it, it's a new social sports betting app based right here in Nashville. Lets you bet on sports with your friends, your coworkers, and other people here in the state of Tennessee instead of betting against a book that's incentivized to see you lose. You can also go on there and smack talk on the app, follow friends, see what others are wagering on. You never have to chase anybody down for the money. It's totally different than any other app out there. I'm sending out and accepting wagers right now, every single day. You must be 21 years of age or older to download the app on your phone's browser at wager.me/DMAC. That's wager, WAGR.me/DMAC. DMAC. Once you're in, join the 102.5 The Game crew. Let's see if you can take some of the money from me, but I'm going to try to take it from you as well. Remember, you must be 21 years of age or older to play. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-889-9789.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobis. No issues going into our weekend. The possibility of an isolated shower on your Friday can't be ruled out, but most of the day stays mostly cloudy and dry. Also on the cooler side. High temperatures today in the upper 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
The 2022 Major League Soccer season is officially here, and Nashville SC's new home, Geodis Park, is nearly complete. Don't miss Nashville SC's home opener May 1st. Secure your season tickets now. Come on and grab a seat at NashvilleSC.com/22ticks.
Coach's Corner Sports Grill, nestled in Spring Hill, Tennessee, is your hometown sports bar. Coaches, players, grandparents, parents, kids, all are welcome. Hang out after a ball game or watch your team win on the big screens. Try their signature hand-patted burgers from the All-American to the X's and O's. Or choose something from the dog pound, such as their chili cheese dog. And don't forget to wash it all down with their 20-plus beers on tap. Coach's Corner Sports Grill, open every day with daily food and drink specials for lunch and dinner. Off Port Royal Road in Spring Hill. Online at coachescornersportsgrill.com.
To understand what makes Genesis Diamonds so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back over 40 years to the diamond cutting capital of Tel Aviv, Israel. That's where Genesis owner Boaz Ramon grew up, in the center of the diamond universe. His connections with the best diamond cutters allowed him special access, giving rise to a thriving wholesale business here in the United States. Then, after a few years, this wholesaler changed the game and started selling these precious diamonds direct to the public at the same prices he had sold to the jewelry stores. The no middleman concept became an instant success. Today, Genesis Diamonds provides that extraordinary value to people right here in Middle Tennessee, leading the industry with the highest quality diamonds that still come straight from the best cutters, offered at the guaranteed best price of any jewelry store in America. Genesis Diamonds, a truly revolutionary concept with a unique history rooted in quality, committed to excellence, and always focused on value. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes, Green Hills, and Cool Springs.
Darren McFarland.
A lot of dots to connect there, a lot of storylines.
Willie Daunic.
Be careful what you wish for.
And Chase McCabe.
Yes, because it's my favorite.
Get through your workday with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Weekdays 10 to 2.
Great three-man band live. Fire it up. Let's go.
On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I think they would love to see that.
Watch live on YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope.
When you see that, click on it.
Inside knowledge on the Titans.
Todd Downey's got his notepad out right now, just writing things down.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year one?
Wake up and hang out with Robby and Rexrode. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
You can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook every single day. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you on this Friday morning. Special thanks to Betty Wiseman. Great stuff from her. But right as we took to the airwaves, there was a response from Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown about some comments that we had made the last couple of days on the show about A.J.'s tweet that said when he quote tweeted, the NFL put out that the Falcons had agreed to terms of the 2-year contract with quarterback Marcus Mariota. He quote tweeted and said, "Best leader I ever been around!" ! And so we had a pretty candid conversation about that, how we felt about it. And Derek, just to refresh everybody who maybe didn't hear what's your stance, what you were talking about, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Well, when he made
your initial reaction.
My initial reaction was that that's not a good look. It's not, because especially at this juncture of Tannehill's career, considering what happened in the AFC playoffs second round, and how many are questioning whether Ryan is the quarterback or not. You have to be aware of what's going on around you. You can't have on blinders. You can't have tunnel vision. You can't be, oblivious to what's going on when everyone's questioning your quarterback. And I'm not saying that you are. That's, your relationship with him is your relationship. But when you put out things like that, it makes others think that, whoa, what's really going on in the locker room? Does he not think Tannehill's a great leader? Because he's saying someone else that's going to another team. His quote was, he was the best leader I've been around, or I played with. I'm paraphrasing.
Best leader I ever been around.
Yeah, I ever been around.
That's
and
word for word.
It makes people think. And, listen, if you don't want people questioning the tweet, then don't put it out. Because, again, you got to understand, when you put something out like that, you have a quarterback that people are questioning. Now you're talking about another quarterback you played with. People are going to assume that, hey, listen, what's really going on? It's your truth. And I said that yesterday. I said, it's his truth. I have no problem with that. But when you say things like that, it makes people wonder what's really going on. And, other people are scared to say anything bad about the Titans. And I'm not saying people, that I do the show with, you and Willie or Jared or Rex or Robby. But there are people that are scared to say anything bad about the Tennessee Titans. I love the organization. I think John's doing a great job. I think Vrabel's doing a great job. But when there are things that are happening, aren't we supposed to talk about it? Aren't we supposed to be truthful? Aren't we supposed to tell our truth and how we see it and not kind of shy away from it? I could have shied away from it because I was a part of that organization at one point, but I didn't, because that would have been, I wouldn't have done our listeners, I wouldn't have done right by them had I not addressed it, because I'm pretty sure many wondered, when he put that out there, what are you talking about? Like, what's really going on? And he even said it. He got so many bad things, so many people came at him either about Ryan. He deleted it. So you had to have known that when you put the tweet out, something was going to come back to you. Too much is what they say, too much is given, much is required. You are the guy, AJ. There are certain things you just can't put out in social media, because people are going to take it and run with it, because no one's in your head. So when you put things out like that, it's up to us to assume what you mean, considering, what happened and how y'all got ousted in the playoffs because the quarterback didn't have a good day. And many are questioning whether he is the guy moving forward. So, I mean, hey, I do appreciate that he did at me. I really do. I have no problem with that.
And did it in a respectful way.
And did it in a respectful way, and I appreciate that. I have no problem with that. But I'm not gonna stop telling my truth if he puts out another tweet that is sort of, one of those, it's up for you to interpret it the way you want to. Then if I interpret it a certain way, I'm gonna say it.
His tweet was at dmason85. Mr. Mason, I just want to say you are completely wrong, sir. Just because you/people may have a problem with the retweet.
No, it's Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan. Sorry.
It took me a minute to get that
was
too.
Like,
yeah,
retweet, because that's what we always do.
Is it retweet or is it Ryan? I don't know.
It's Ryan.
It's Ryan. Okay.
It's definitely Ryan.
Okay.
Have a problem with Ryan Tannehill. It's definitely Ryan. He
Okay.
should at least just said Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Tanny.
Yeah.
Or something. Just to be like hockey. Have nicknames. With Ryan doesn't mean I do. Our locker room is fine and is behind him, and I don't take shots at people without directly address with directly addressing them. He just said address them, like how I'm directly addressing you. Well, one, I don't remember any of the conversations that you questioned that there was a problem in the locker room.
Nah.
You brought attention to when you send this out.
People can assume.
Now people are going to ask those questions.
And what did I say yesterday? I'm not in that locker room, so I don't know. But when you put things out, see, again, when you hear, if you didn't hear it and you're probably getting it from someone else, then you missed the part of me saying, hey, listen, I'm not in that locker room. But when you say things like that, it makes people wonder. That's the part. See, people have selective when they hear things and they want to run back and tell somebody else. They leave out certain parts to make it sound a little bit better. Yeah,
you don't hear that's why I said I hope he was listening. I hope he heard some of the conversations, and I hope he's not getting this secondhand of, hey, bro, did you hear what D-Meg said about you? On the midday show on 102.5 The Game? No, what did he say? Well, this is what he said. It's like, oh. Because translation, typically, something gets lost, right?
Exactly.
Typically, something gets lost in translation, or it's not conveyed exactly how it went down. So I hope AJ was actually listening to the conversations or has gone back to thegamenashville.com and actually listened to the audio. Because, look, just like his tweet, he's got the right to his opinion.
Exactly.
And he doesn't have to agree with what you said, and that's totally fine. In fact, a lot of people are weighing in. We'll continue the discussion to begin hour number 2, and we'll do that next.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
This is Chef John from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville. Inviting you to come join us for breakfast and lunch. We're offering some exciting new menu items. We have Grandma's famous chicken and dumpling soup. We're offering a fun and new exciting Nashville hot battered shrimp. We're also very excited about our confit chicken hash. Join us in Kitchen Notes for our award-winning patty melt made with our house-made pimento cheese, local Blackhawk Farms beef patty. Come join us in Kitchen Notes and create a memorable experience here at the Omni Hotel. Food is all about memories for us. We'd like you to start a new memory here at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Hotel.
Lunch at Kitchen Notes in the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Well, folks, I hope your bracket is not as bad as mine, and I hope that you get in on FanDuel Sportsbook's offer to give new customers a $150 instant bonus guaranteed on the tournament. Joe Rexrode here to let you know you can get $150 in bonus site credit. All you got to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. How you bet the rest of the way in this crazy tournament is up to you. You can go money line, totals, prop bets, whatever you want to do. Look, I mean, I could tell you, that I like Villanova right now, but I mean, gosh, I don't know if I would trust listening to me. Do whatever you want. Just know that with Cash Out, you also do whatever you want. Just know that with Cash Out, the ball's in your court. You can close out your bet whenever you want before a game is over. Join today with promo code Joe102. Place your first $5 bet to score $150 in bonus site credit guaranteed. That's promo code Joe102 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now $1 site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Your home value is way up. You can use that money now to pay off credit cards or remodel your house, or both. Hey, Willie Daunic for Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto can convert that home equity into cash as little as 2 weeks from now with no cost to you and zero hassle. Mike and Joan in Brentwood called Loan Pronto, and they did a Loan Pronto zero-cost cash-out refi. They got a check for $100,000. They used $50,000 to pay off all of their credit cards and a car loan. Use the other $50K to upgrade their master bath and kitchen. They locked in a new APR in the 2s and lowered their total monthly bills by hundreds of dollars. Hello? What are you waiting on? Call Loan Pronto now and convert your home value into cash. Put that money to good use. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780 or lowpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe of Darren, Daunic, and Chase. I started my radio career as an intern right here at ESPN 102.5 The Game. Now we're looking for our next great batch of interns. You think that's you? Send your resume to together@cromwellmedia.com to apply today.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
a Cromwell media station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
Second hour, go to theGameNashville.com/deals to check out Nashville's best deals. Right now, there's deals for half off Woodhouse Spa, Mainstay, and Brooklyn Bowl. Nashville's best deals now at theGameNashville.com/deals. Hour number 2, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. Elijah Campbell manning things. Hillside Medical Game Studio, responding to A.J. Brown's tweet as we began the show at DMason85. This is coming from Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown. Mr. Mason, I just want to say you are completely wrong, sir. Just because you/people may have a problem with Ryan Tannehill doesn't mean I do. Our locker room is fine and is behind him, and I don't take shots at people without directly addressing them like how I'm directly addressing you. AJ goes on to say, this is another tweet, I'm not from this weird planet. I was taught to show love to our loved ones and support them, and that's all I was doing. I took it down because of the slander it was bringing to one of my teammates. You have a good day, sir. Now, he was very, very respectful, and I do appreciate that you can have a conversation.
Hold on, why did this planet has to be weird, man?
I don't know.
Twitter's a weird place, man.
So is he saying Twitter?
Well,
is he talking about Twitter world, or is he talking about the real world? I don't know.
If you're going to live on that planet, then you got to know it's weird.
Exactly. I mean there's no other planet we can go to, is there?
We know Twitter's weird. I mean,
I guess he's talking about the Twitter world, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
See, it's up for me to interpret what he means again. It's up for me to interpret what AJ meant. Like, what world? Twitter world or this world? I don't know. You know, I am happy.
Well, I'll tell you what's happening, Derek. I'm losing faith that he has been listening to this show, because it sounds like a lot of secondhand information. Because, to be quite honest, he says that I'm trying to get the exact words he said, that because it was slander, I was running to one of my teammates. Was he saying that, I don't take shots, or that he was saying you have been bashed? I don't actually remember where you have been taking a bunch of shots at Ryan Tannehill.
No, I just call it how I saw it.
The slander it was bringing to
the
one of my
last
teammates.
game of the season. I saw it as I called it as I saw it. And then once I had time to think about it, what did I do? Like a week later or something like that.
Just because you may have a problem with Ryan Tannehill. Well, quite honestly, I haven't heard that at all from you. If anything, you've probably defended him a little bit more than anybody else.
Yeah, but he's not my quarterback, so I mean, I want him to do well because I want the franchise to do well. But beyond that, I mean, he's AJ's quarterback. He's not my quarterback. So it's not me. I think what players sometimes misunderstand, and what I had to learn as a player, is that just because a reporter or a radio show host is saying something about an individual's play doesn't mean he's slandering that person. If he's a good talk show host or a good reporter, he's reporting or talking about what he's seen either consecutively or in that game. That's not called slandering. That's just calling, hey, listen, if he dropped 3 passes, I'm going to say he dropped 3 passes. That's not slandering him. That's saying you dropped 3 passes. Now, if they don't want people to say that, then don't let that happen. It was the same for me. If I didn't want somebody talking bad about me as a player, if I played bad in a game and someone said something bad about me, all right, cool. I had to make sure the next game I went out and I balled out, so they couldn't have anything bad to say about me moving forward. And that's typically how it went. I didn't think they were slandering me. I just thought they were writing the way I was playing. That's all it is. So when I speak, and if, he needs to go talk to people that I play with, that he's around. On the field, in that locker room, I was truthful. I spoke my truth. I stood up for guys. That's what I did. I stood up to coaches for guys. That's how I was. I didn't hold back just because it might have, if I said something, it might have made somebody feel a certain way. No, I spoke my truth and I went about my business. So in this situation, I'm reading this and I'm interpreting it a certain way because you're giving me no other reason but to do that. Now, if you'd have put out that tweet and then subsequently, right after you put out that tweet or right when you were putting out that tweet, added something at the back end and say, hey, listen, Ryan is my guy, yada, yada, I would have understood. And I think a lot of people would have understood. But when you just put that out as a singular tweet, when you're retweeting something else and you put it out there and you let it stay out there, then it's only, and you got to understand, listen, when you put that tweet out and you got all that slander, why do you think you got all that slander? Because people didn't understand what you were saying. People couldn't interpret what you were truly saying or what you truly meant. But it's a learning lesson. It truly is. And he may get mad at me about that, but it's a learning lesson. When you put out a tweet, you have to be more aware of the ripple effects that tweet will have. Not just on you, but it can have on someone else, one of your teammates. Because you took it down because everybody was coming at Ryan. Because a tweet you put out about Marcus. That's the ripple effect.
Oh, he doesn't think you're a very good leader. Right? Which that's not what AJ's saying.
Exactly. But that's what people interpret.
Yes, that's what we were talking about. That's exactly what it's all about, the interpretation. Look, tweets are no different than text, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've only got we've always said you can't really tell, right? Context of a text. You're not sure. Sometimes you get text and you're like, is that a joke? Is that for real? Right?
Mm-hmm.
We get those all the time. Like, and tweets are no different. Sometimes you read a tweet and it's hard for you to determine exactly what they mean by that. A text is no different. Tweets are no different.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say short and sweet, that, which is what we talked about, he's the best leader I've ever been around, you are going to have people interpret that as, oh, Marcus Mariota's a leader, Ryan Tannehill's not. Even though that's not what you're saying, that's what people are going to take from that. Because when you have something that's short and sweet, best leader I've ever been around, immediately people are going to be like, oh, well, clearly your current quarterback is not a leader because you're saying Mariota's way better leader than him, so he must not be a very good leader that you're saying that about a guy who's not even on your team, and yet, Ryan Tannehill is your quarterback. You just leave things wide open for people to go. And look, some people don't care about that, right?
No.
But it's clear that AJ does because he took it down, because that's what people do. They're going to come at, with all these comments, and he's going to be, and he was probably frustrated, and I don't blame him. Like, that's not what I meant, folks. That's not what I meant. But here's the deal. It's like we talked about. Well, you have to be aware that that's what's going to happen if you say that. It's just like when we were giving Willie grief about, remember we started calling him One-Eyed Billy. It's like, well, if you're with Aaron at a restaurant and you see an ex and you're like, she was, I don't remember all the examples, she had the greatest personality, or she's the funniest person I've ever met, you may get a side stare. Does that mean that your wife isn't funny? No, it just because she's going to go, oh, I guess I'm not funny. No, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying she's really, really funny. Oh, really? Well, I guess I'm not funny, right? And all of a sudden you've stepped in it, right? This is no different. No, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, but that person thinks that's exactly what you're saying.
It's like, okay, that's not what I'm saying. Well, what are you saying?
Right. Like, because probably that's what the wife is going to say. Then what are you saying?
Exactly. And then you're going to fumble over the words, and then you're going to have a problem later on once y'all get home. You're going to be sleeping on the couch, with a bad back in the morning or neck in the morning. But it's just like anything. It's, we all, you and I and Willie, we have kids. I know Elijah doesn't. but we have kids. And when your kids may do something or say something and you look at them sideways and they say, well, that's not what I meant, or I ain't mean to do that. Well, what do you mean to do? Because I'm looking at what you did or what you said, and I'm hearing what you said. So what did you mean? What did you say? Did you not mean what you said because you just said it? Or did you not mean to do what you did because you just did it because I just saw it? So which one is it? You're leaving me you're leaving me with no other choice to believe what I saw you do or what I heard you say. It's the same situation with AJ. When you say things like that, then people interpret them a certain way. You can't get mad at the people who interpret them a certain way because you gave them no other reason. You gave them no other way to look at it because it was short, sweet, and concise, which yesterday I said, that's great because that's his truth. I'm not mad at him because he said that. But when you say that, you got to understand what comes along with that. And he understood because he took it down after people not coming at him, because I guarantee you people were like, amen, you are right. And he finally realized that, no, that's not what I meant. And now your quarterback is catching all the flack. And he's probably with his family just chilling. And he don't know he's catching all the flack from your tweet. But then you have to take it down. Why? Because because of the ripple effects it had.
We'll come back. AJ has made another tweet towards Team Ace, and we will read that. Yep. And we'll also continue the discussion because I do think it's a good learning lesson if he wants to learn from this, or he may be dug in and think, hey, there was nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong, and Derek was in the wrong. We'll continue the discussion next year on the DDC ESPN 102.5 The Game.
A show that doesn't pull any punches.
And they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round and he doesn't give up a sack the rest of the year. I don't give two poops. I'm done.
And has an opinion on everything.
That ref crew that was just terrible. Threw flags on almost every possession.
Jared Stillman hosts Stillman and Company.
Tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, it's Jared, and there's a new go-to for home furnishing. Social Furniture on the West Side is independently home-owned furniture store in Nashville. Forget the big box stores. Shop local, shop social. They have all the best brand mattresses, sofas, recliners, love seats, sectionals, coffee tables, and more with no waiting. They will deliver it the same day. That's with everything at Social Furniture. Enjoy new furniture now with no waiting. Shop local, shop social. 5412 Charlotte Avenue near White Bridge Road, and tell them Jared Stillman sent you.
Tickets are on sale now to see the Nashville Sounds in Hit City this summer. Opening day is April 5th. Get ready to spend your nights at First Horizon Park all season long. There's something for everyone, from weekly giveaways to theme weekends and fireworks shows. Tickets at NashvilleSounds.com.
Harmon Energy is your one-stop petroleum solution across all of Tennessee, offering turnkey petroleum solutions for professionals in major industries, serving trucking fleets, construction companies, industrial plants, and more. Whether a large corporation or owner-operator, Harmon Energy has your diesel fuel, lubricant, DEF, and equipment needs. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman. Visit ParmanEnergy.com for more info. Your Tennessee petroleum solution, providing totally outrageous customer service.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway. Now here's Jim Mitchell.
At Mitchell's Mr. Transmission, we also offer free towing with any major repairs. If your vehicle has a breakdown and you should need any type towing, towing is available through Dad's Towing Service. Dad's is a professional towing company in Nashville that provides all types towing and recovery, 24 hours a day.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway.
If you missed the latest from Stillman and Company, delivered by TriStar Moving.
I feel like with Robert Woods, like Julio, they wanted an all-star. They wanted AJ to be an all-star, Derek to be an all-star, Julio to be an all-star. With Robert Woods, they're saying, hey, you were the number one wide receiver for a Rams team that passed the ball really effectively in a similar offense to what the Titans do. We want you to be the number 2. We want A.J. Brown to be Cooper Kupp, and we want you to be you. He knows the offense. He blocks down the field. He is a reliable player outside of his knee injury. And if y'all noticed that in all these years with all these receivers that make all this money, play on all these big market teams, Robert Woods has never bitched about anything. That's a Vrabel kind of guy. I like the move.
Tune in Stillman and Company with Jared Stillman. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
On ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Want the latest on the Predators from the people that cover them?
Heck of a year so far for the Predators. They've been so much fun to watch.
Join Robby Stanley for Preds Insiders every Monday at 6.
I feel probably as good about this group of 6 on D.
Presented by Dr. Kelly Rice on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Talking about AJ's tweets toward D-Mace this morning. Of course, we've talked a lot about his original tweet. It said Marcus Mariota, best leader he's ever been around. The latest one from AJ Brown, I guess tweeting out, and let's not attack Mr. Mason. He did wonderful things for our franchise, just was clearing up a statement, that's all. Still show respect to one of our very own. Again, very, very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that about him. He's disagreeing, but he's doing it in a respectful manner. But that was the latest tweet from A.J. Brown to you, Derek.
And that's all. I mean, if you are around me long enough, and you can ask my friends, just about anybody, my girl, whatever, we're going to disagree. You know, and I always say, listen, we agree to disagree, but we do it respectfully. You know, I tell my kids the same thing. If you may not, agree with something I'm saying, or I may not agree with something you're saying, then, we're going to do it respectfully. We agree to disagree, but we're going to move on and we're going to do it respectfully. And I do appreciate that because, sometimes when things get on Twitter, I think people, it's sort of like they get gassed up because of all the comments and they feel they got to come harder at a particular person. But I respect that AJ was like, nah. It's just a disagreement. I believe one thing, he believes another. He didn't say that, but I'm sort of paraphrasing from his last tweet. I believe one thing, he believes another. It's good. We just move on. That I do respect. Instead of, some people dig in deeper and they make it worse than what it actually should be. Even though this is not bad, it's just, hey, listen, you put out a tweet. I interpret it one way, just like probably many other people interpret it one way, and then you had your faction of people that interpret it the way you meant it to be. Like, okay, you still believe in Ryan. There are many that took it that way. But I took it another way, and it wasn't a disrespect to you. It was just, hey, listen, when you put out something that concise and that straight to the point, you got to understand that some people are going to interpret it the way you want them to interpret it, and some people are not. I was more so of that not. And again, I did it in a respectful manner. Didn't, bash him or anything. I just say, man, that's not a good look for a guy that just finished up an AFC playoff game with 3 interceptions and people questioning him. And I go back to, again, what Vrabel said. What did he say after that? After the game, and I think a couple of days after the game, we have to be great around Ryan. And then what did he have to do? He came back some weeks later and had to clarify that, right? Because people took it as, and I was one of those people like, man, are you saying your quarterback, like these guys got to be great around him? Like they just got to up their game even more? Because There are guys, Derrick Henry playing great, AJ playing great, the offensive line, they're playing great. So they got to elevate even higher in order to win playoff games consistently. He had to come back and clarify it, because I'm pretty sure he heard the noise. So it's the same thing with this tweet, and so it is what it is.
I would say to AJ, you did this tweet in 6 words, and you left, in my opinion, you left no wiggle room at all. 6 words, you used the word best, leader, I, ever been around. Just think about how little wiggle room you – best, leader, how impactful those words are. Best, leader, I, ever. You tell me where the wiggle room is.
There's not much.
Well, what is it? Tell me what the wiggle room is. We gave examples. If you want to pay a compliment to Mariota because you respect him, everybody did. Well, that was never the issue here. We get it. Okay, Marcus Mariota checked all the boxes as a human being.
We liked him as a person.
He's an incredible person. We get it. Why wouldn't you just say, I'm so incredibly happy for you? New opportunity. Well, whatever. You could take it a million places. 6 words. Best leader I ever been around. How do you want people to interpret that? Where do you want people to go with that? What is the wiggle room? What else could you be meaning? You just said he's the best leader you've ever been around. What's the wiggle room? That's your opinion. That's fine. But now you've come back and that's not what I meant. Our locker room is fine. Well, nobody said the locker room wasn't fine, but you made a point to tweet out best leader I ever been around. I assume AJ's been playing football his whole life. I know he's still very young, but he just told everybody on Twitter Marcus Mariota was the best leader. Now, does that mean you don't like Ryan Tannehill? No. Does that mean Ryan Tannehill is not a leader? No. But where did you think Twitter and social media was going with that? Just in those 6 words, where did you think they were going with that? Where is the wiggle room to interpret things the way you want people to interpret them? That's what I would ask to A.J. Brown. Let's go to Connie on our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Connie, what's up?
Oh, hey, thanks, guys, for letting me on. I wanted to weigh in on, at first I didn't realize, how much time that A.J. had been with Tannehill compared to Mariota. And during that time, of course, those times that they had, maybe during the time that A.J. was with Mariota, that was the best, and maybe he hasn't gotten to that point with Tannehill yet. And he has sent an apology, let it go. And I have one more thing I want to throw in there, and that's the criticism toward Tannehill. I'm like, wow, maybe this is going to make him so strong through the summer season, he's going to come back this fall and just kick it.
Yeah. Look, that's what you want to have happen, right?
You hope that's the case. And
We've used this example many times, Connie. Thank you for the call. Matt Duchene, it was not a good offseason for him. I mean, he heard all the criticisms, right? Not living up to the contract. He had 13 points last season. And I know he didn't play very many games. I think it was 34. But he heard all the criticism. And you want the response. And look at the response. Career season. You brought it up. In Kansas City, when the Chiefs drafted Patrick Mahomes, you made a point to say, watch. Look who's going to have the best season of their career. And they did, right? They did.
Alex Smith and got a starting job in Washington.
He had his career season. And you said, watch, because that's what you need to have happen, right? That's what you need to. Of course, they want the same thing with Ryan Tannehill. You can't end on that note and make the money, play that position, and not expect to hear the criticism the entire offseason. Now you want to see what the response is going to be. It's not going to go away. But you want to see, Does that motivate him? Can he pick himself up off the mat and respond? Can he basically thumb his nose at everybody when it's all said and done? You were wrong. I was right. Good. Hope it does motivate him, right? This is their guy. They're not bringing in somebody else. This is the guy. This is who they're riding, unless there's a magic trade that I've missed that's coming. I don't believe that all of a sudden they're going to toss him to the side and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't believe that's going to happen, or Baker Mayfield.
I don't see that. I don't see that in the future.
I don't see that coming anytime soon. So if this is the guy you're riding with, then yeah, you hope that is the response. But again, we're talking about look, AJ's the one that made a point with these tweets today, and he's done it in a respectful manner, and I can really appreciate that. Nobody's got an issue with A.J. Brown. I think, quite honestly, I've agreed with you, Derek, from jump on this, and I think at this point we're trying to help him moving forward. Like, one, you're a smart guy. You're a really, really, really talented receiver. You're a number one in this league, but you also got to realize the more brighter your star gets, there's more eyeballs on everything you do. Okay, that comes with the territory. D-Mace, you can attest to that. You understand that. And you've played with plenty of guys that understand that very well. When your star gets brighter and you make more money and more people talk about you and more people buy your jerseys and more people buy tickets to come see you, which is all great, 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 it also comes with responsibility. It comes with people then start just hinging on every word, every tweet, everything you say. You may not like that, but that's unfortunately what you signed up for. It comes with the territory. You can't escape that. It's not going to go away. And whenever you do a tweet that is 6 words, best leader I ever been around, you leave it wide open for people to come running through the door and start questioning, what does that say about your current quarterback? Just saying. Just keep that in mind.
He just has to be, and I know we got to go to break quickly, he just has to be aware of, you are the guy. You are their number one guy. So when you say things like that or Twitter or whatever you say in Twitter, in the Twitter world, as crazy and weird as that world is, and he's right, if you know it's crazy and weird, then you got to be conscious of what you put out there. Again, it was what you said was your truth, but you didn't mean it in a way that many took it. But how else were we to take it if you were so concise and straight to the point? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll come back to it in about 15 minutes. We're going to head to Indy, talk to Bob Kravitz, find out about these moves the Colts have done. What does this mean? We do that next.
Every Wednesday, it's me, Jared Stillman, against Joe Rexrode for Jared versus Joe. Brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment. Visit ParmanTractor.com, your Middle Tennessee link belt and Takauchi dealer.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Ford. It's March, and you got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you? We hope you feel lucky, because we're handing out luck all month long in Newton. We have great deals in both our sales and service departments. We have deals on the cars, trucks, and SUVs you've been looking for. That's not all. We're going to give you top dollar for your trade, and we're going to give you a great deal on your next car. Essentially, save you money and make you money at the same time. Thomas Jefferson once said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more of it I have." Well, at Newton, we're here ready to work hard for you to see if we're lucky enough to earn your business. Your luck can begin at home by starting your deal with Newton FastPass. Don't wait. Find your luck at NewtonFordSouth.com. See website for details. No shame for the lame disclaim.
Your home value is way up. You can use that money now to pay off credit cards or remodel your house, or both. Hey, Willie Daunic for Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto can convert that home equity into cash as little as 2 weeks from now with no cost to you and zero hassle. Mike and Joan in Brentwood called Loan Pronto, and they did a Loan Pronto zero cost cash out refi. They got a check for $100,000. They used $50,000 to pay off all of their credit cards and a car loan. Use the other $50K to upgrade upgrade their master bath and kitchen. They locked in a new APR in the 2s and lowered their total monthly bills by hundreds of dollars. Hello? What are you waiting on? Call Loan Pronto now and convert your home value into cash. Put that money to good use. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780 or lowpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch DD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with DD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Nashville, this is Sean Henry. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Thank you, Sean. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland and Derek Mason with you. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Let's head to Indy. Bob Kravitz covers the Colts for The Athletic. Does a great job. Has been covering them for a long time now. Joins us. Well, Bob, the smoke has cleared, and Matt Ryan is going to be the new guy under center. What's been kind of the reaction in your market to the moves that Chris Ballard has made this offseason?
Well, I think in this particular case, the feeling is that he's Phillip Rivers 2.0, which is not a bad thing. They won 11 games with Phillip and got to the playoffs and damn near beat Buffalo in Buffalo. So I think people look at it and look, it's not optimal, but I think it's the best they could have done under the situation. They had made the decision fairly early on that Carson Wentz was not the guy. And they wanted somebody who was kind of a plug-and-play guy, a guy who was a leader, who had those intangibles that Carson lacked. And so I think people are pretty jazzed about him coming in, but there's still a lot of question marks about what else they're going to do because right now they don't have any wide receivers or tight ends.
It's interesting that you bring up the Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan comparison because I've kind of felt the same thing. And so the question that I have for you, Bob, is who do you think is better at this point in their careers? Who do you think? The Phillip Rivers, that was there under center a couple of years ago, like you said, took him to the playoffs, lost in Buffalo in a close one, or this current Matt Ryan? Who do you think is better at this point?
I think Matt Ryan's an upgrade.
Okay.
He played. Look, his best days are behind him. There's no question about that. But I still think he's got a lot of football in him. He played with a terrible offensive line in Atlanta. Didn't have a lot of receivers outside of Kyle Pitts. Defensively, they weren't terribly good. So I think coming to a team that's got kind of an established culture and a team that's good defensively, has a good offensive line, although they're still up in the air at left tackle a little bit, and obviously a great running game. I think people look at it and think that he will be a mild upgrade on Phillip Rivers, and a guy who, if things go right, they can win the AFC South. Now, can they compete with the Kansas Cities and Buffaloes and Cincinnati's and folks like that? I don't think so. I think you need an elite quarterback to get to where you want to go. But I do think they feel like they're in a better position to compete for the AFC South against Tennessee.
We talked to you whenever Chris Ballard had that press conference after the season. It was like, whoa, that was not a ringing endorsement about Carson Wentz. So now that that's all behind, and typically when things are behind you and the smoke clears, that sometimes things start, trickling out. Because we keep talking about it here, and I keep saying there's just things behind the scenes. And I know we talked about some of this with you, Bob, about, not getting vaccinated. But has anything other things come to light on just really how abruptly – Indianapolis gave up a lot to get him, and they were quick to say goodbye, good riddance.
Right, and not a lot has come out. That's pretty typical. The Colts are pretty buttoned up about those sorts of things, and I don't think they want to they don't want to do wrong by Carson Wentz, but and this is not a very satisfying answer, but he lacked those leadership intangibles that you look for in a quarterback. Zach Kiefer, my colleague at The Athletic, had a really good story after it happened where he talked about how Carson didn't like hard coaching. He had confidence issues. He wasn't able to inspire the confidence of his teammates. Nothing terrible, but I just felt like it went way beyond the fact that he fell apart in the last couple of games of the season. I think this was a decision that they were leaning toward far earlier than that. So I think what they get with Matt Ryan is they get an established adult in the room, and I think that's what they're looking for with a team that's already got a lot of good pieces.
We're talking with Bob Kravitz of The Athletic, talking to Indianapolis Colts. Now, you spoke, Bob, that they have a pretty good team around them, especially on defense. Bringing in Matt, it solidifies the quarterback position for a few years here. But do you think they address the wide receiver position via the draft, or do you think they're going to go get a late veteran to come in?
I think a little bit of both. I think because right now, they just lost Zach Pascal, who's not a great loss. And T.Y. Hilton is either going to retire or go somewhere else. He's not coming back to Indy. I would certainly doubt it anyway. But right now it's Michael Pittman and nobody. So my sense is they will go out and get some kind of veteran, and I think they'll go heavy in the draft, either at wide receiver or tight end, because right now they are really thin there. If Matt Ryan thought he didn't have a lot of weapons in Atlanta, wait till he comes to Indianapolis. The thing is with Matt Ryan, they just want him to make the layups. Mm-hmm. They want him to make throw those check downs to Nyheim Hines or Jonathan Taylor or whomever. And that's something that Carson Wentz never did. If you go back and look at the tape, time and again he had guys wide open 10, 12 yards down the field, and instead he tried to throw into triple coverage 20 yards down the field. And I think that Matt Ryan, being a veteran, being a guy who's been there and done that, I think he's going to give them the kind of steady quarterbacking they need. Will he win games for them? Probably not. But I don't think he's going to lose games for them, and that was part of the issue with Carson.
Now, prior to this trade, I think a lot of people's consensus was that this was the Titans' division, basically to lose, because they figured, Wentz is the quarterback, and we've seen him before, and Jacksonville hadn't gotten any better, and we are the darlings of the South. But now they've acquired Matt Ryan. How close does this put them to the Titans here?
Honestly, I think it's a wash. I really do. Now, having said that, you're looking at a team that was the number one seed last year in the AFC. So they're, and they haven't lost much of anything that I'm aware of. So I think the Colts. Look, if I was a betting man, I'd still take the Tennessee Titans. Because of what they've done and all that. But I think the Colts are in a position, if they can win some of these one-possession games. They were 2-5 in one-possession games last year. If they can somehow win, some of those games, I think they'll be right there with Tennessee. I think this is going to come down to the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're right about it. That's the way I see about it. When the trade was made, Bob, I said, this is a situation where, do I believe Tennessee still wins the division? Yes, because they didn't lose many people. But come late December, when they have to travel to Indianapolis or Indianapolis comes here, it's going to be a different story, and it might be for the division.
Absolutely. And look, I think everybody in the organization feels more comfortable with Matt Ryan, who, like I say, is the adult in the room, than they did with Carson Wentz. I don't think. Look, the owner wanted nothing more to do with Carson Wentz. The GM, I think, was inclined that way. We have not gotten a chance to talk at any length with Frank Reich. I bet you if you shoot him full of truth serum, he would probably say he would have liked to have run it back with Carson one more year. But I think that was untenable, especially with the owner being as vocal as he was. And Jim Irsay is not a guy who gets too involved, with personnel, but I think he did this time.
Well, it's going to be fun to see how this all plays out. More work to be done, though, of course.
Absolutely.
But, Bob, we always appreciate the visit. Thanks so much for doing this. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Bob Kravitz from The Athletic covers the Colts, does a tremendous job doing it. We're getting some really, really good texts. We're going to continue the discussion. I'm going to bring up something. Derek, if you tweeted this out, how would I take it? We'll do that on the other side here on the DDC ESPN 102.5 The Game.
This is Mikhail Kralin, and this is Nashville.
The rebound shoveled in by Mikhail Granlund, and the Predators have tied it up on the power play.
This is the flagship of the Nashville Predators Radio Network. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobis. No issues going into our weekend. The possibility of an isolated shower on your Friday can't be ruled out, but most of the day stays mostly cloudy and dry. Also on the cooler side, high temperatures today in the upper 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Hillside Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free. Plus, a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Hillside Medical now to qualify. 615-576-5000.
Parman Energy is your one-stop petroleum solution across all of Tennessee, offering turnkey petroleum solutions for professionals in major industries, serving trucking fleets, construction companies, industrial plants, and more. Whether a large corporation or owner-operator, Parman Energy has your diesel fuel, lubricant, DEF, and equipment needs. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman. Visit ParmanEnergy.com for more info. Your Tennessee petroleum solution, providing totally outrageous customer service.
At Copper Branch, they live life to the fullest. Food is your energy and your life. Located in the heart of downtown Nashville, their goal is to serve you, your friends, and family quality, great-tasting, plant-based power foods. Visit Copper Branch at 601 Church Street for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with convenient and validated parking during library hours, and download their app for curbside pickup. Or come out for songwriter and live music nights several times throughout the week to empower, energize, and feel your best. Visit Copper Branch today.
Hey, you see Tony's face?
Yeah, he's using one of them Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razors with 6 stainless steel blades for a close shave. His face is as smooth as a river rock.
Smooth as a nice olive oil.
Like a bowling ball.
Like silk pajamas.
Like a seal down at the aquarium.
Like a ball of wax.
Wax job?
Hey, no one said nothing about a wax job, okay? Quit being a wise guy.
Dollar Shave Club, for a noticeably smooth shave. Find us in stores and at dollarshaveclub.com.
Meshing journalism.
They are 2 scores behind you. The math says that increases your chances of winning.
With sports fandom.
I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning, just emotionally numb from Titans and Packers.
And sarcasm.
You guys are the worst.
Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode are Robby and Rexrode. No duh. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
ESPN 102.5 The Game and 94.9 are Nashville's official home of NASCAR this Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Yeah, 1:30 in the afternoon. They'll be at Texas. Also, to get you set for the race, by the way, that'll be aired on 94.9 on Sunday. So ESPN 94.9 for that race at Texas. Chasing Checkers Sunday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 102.5 The Game. So keep that in mind on Sunday. Back here on the DDC, Darren McFarland, Derek Mason with you. A.J. Brown, during our show today, started with this tweet, at DMason85. Mr. Mason, I just want to say you are completely wrong, sir. Just because you/people may have a problem with Ryan Tannehill doesn't mean I do. Our locker room is fine and is behind him, and I don't take shots at people without directly addressing them like how I'm directly addressing you. Goes on to say, I'm not from this weird planet. I was taught to show love to our loved ones and support them, and that's all I was doing. I took it down because of the slander it was bringing to one of my teammates. You have a good day, sir. He also went on to he tweeted out, and let's not attack Mr. Mason. He did wonderful things for our franchise. Just was clearing up a statement. That's all. Still show respect to one of our very own. So, D-Mace, we've been working together. Okay, go ahead.
I want to address something quickly. And I appreciate AJ saying don't attack me. But you know me, Darren. I don't give a damn.
No,
if you want to attack me,
you don't.
Attack me. Those that are attacking me, they probably don't understand what I did when I was with the franchise. They don't understand that. They are probably the 20-somethings or the people that just moved into Nashville that love the Titans, and that's great. That love A.J. Brown. That's great, and they're taking up A.J. Brown. But if you want to attack me, bring the smoke. I don't care. It is what it is, because I will comment in a respectful manner to those people. So it really don't matter to me. But I do appreciate A.J. saying that.
I just wanted to read it. I know you through and through. That wasn't going to bother you at all. But, we've worked together for years and years. We've done a whole lot of shows and a whole lot of hours on the radio together. And there was a short stint whenever you moved to mornings and you were working with Nick Kale and Brady Gull. And if you tweeted out, we love those guys. Nick Kale was the best radio host I've ever worked with. And we're back doing this show together.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel the need to clarify anything? Would you feel the need to say anything to me?
I would have to, because if indeed I said that, I know you would feel a certain way, or you would have felt a certain way when I said it.
If you're like D-Mac, no, dude, I love you, bro. No, we're cool. No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
But you put it out there.
Right, but look, I'm just trying to put this in perspective. Do you understand what that sounds like? How do you want me to take that?
Mm-hmm.
I know how we are. I know our relationship. I know how we are working together. I know how you feel. You know how I feel. Look, there's nothing that needs to be said, but you tweet that out there, I'm going to be like, wow, okay. I mean, that's how you feel, but, man, that kind of – what's he thinking about? I mean, that kind of stings a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we work together. I mean, we've been doing shows together for a good while. So, wow. I mean, you see what I mean? Like, you have to be – like, let me read this text, because I think Amy from Arkansas – this is on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. There's two texts, and I want to read these.
Mm-hmm.
Using best or greatest to describe an ex in anything is a death wish.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it, but don't say it. Amy, I couldn't agree more, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Then Amy goes on to text to us, if AJ would have added one of the best,
mm-hmm.
it would have changed the whole perception of what he meant. Again, 100% agree, because that's exactly what we're talking about. We're actually trying to help AJ moving forward. And I don't know if he wants help or doesn't want help or cares. But you know what? He's opened up this door, and so, we are going to talk about it, and we are going to address it. Just think about what she said. One of the best would have changed everything. But the fact, again, 6 words, best leader I ever been around. One of the best changes everything. 3 more words. One of the best changes that entire. It goes from a 6-word tweet to a 9-word tweet, and yes, people are still going to comment, and there still would have been a bunch of reaction, but it would not have been to the level of best leader I ever been around. Agree or disagree?
No, I agree.
One of the best changes it.
Wording changes meaning. We know that. The way you word something changes the meaning of what you're saying. We know it. We understand it. So when you do that, or when you say that, or when you tweet that, whatever it may be, you got to understand, especially if it's straight to the point, again, precise, straight to the point, in your face, then you leave either 2 assumptions. 1, okay, it's just, he doesn't mean much by it. He just thinks it's a good thing to say about a former teammate that, he's finally getting a starting job potentially in Atlanta. Or there are others that take it the other way. Like, whoa, what do you really mean by that? When you got a quarterback in your locker room that people are questioning, then you leave it. Then now you're on a little bit of shaky ground, because there's no precise. You're not telling people exactly what you are, but you're not leaving room for. You're not leaving any wiggle room.
D-Mace, he says in his tweet, he goes on to say, I took it down because of the slander it was bringing to one of my teammates. If it's an innocent 6-word tweet, what slander would there be? If it was how you felt, again, it's because of the wording.
Mm-hmm. And
that's when you say I took it down because of the slander it was bringing to one of my teammates. Again, that was the whole point that started the discussion. Do you realize what you're saying? Do you realize how that's going to be viewed from a current teammate and how others will view that? That's literally what started our entire conversation earlier this week, which is exactly how it played out, by the way, because he's saying that.
Absolutely. And listen,
and he deleted it because of that.
And listen, Ryan may have saw it. He may not have saw it. If he saw it, he probably
it's gotten back to him.
He probably was like, it could have been 1 or 2 reactions. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I know AJ and I's relationship is good. Or it could have been the other way. Like, what is he really trying to say here? Like, players are sensitive. I know that.
Nah.
Yeah, they are.
I don't believe that.
They all are.
Coaches are too.
Coaches are sensitive. We all are sensitive. We're sensitive people.
Hey, let's just say we all are.
Exactly.
Okay?
We all are sensitive. So when something like that is put out there, again, I'm not questioning our friendship or anything else. I'm just questioning, like, why would you say that? Like, what's going on? Let's talk. Just like you said, had I said that about Nick, and Nick is great, by the way, but had I said that about Nick and then come back to doing the show with you and Willie, you'd have been like, so Derek, hey, bro, what did you mean by that tweet?
No, I probably wouldn't have said anything but I would have just been like, wow, okay. But still, I mean,
But I would have felt the need to address it.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
if
I would
you
have
felt the need to address it,
yeah.
Then did you do the right tweet then? If you felt the need to address it? Probably not.
No, hindsight is 20/20. You look at it and you say, "Well, maybe I should have tweeted.
Worded it differently."
And
I was trying to be nice to Nick. I was trying to say, for whatever the circumstance, but maybe I should have worded it a little bit differently, because if you have to then circle back around and address with the current situation, then probably you didn't word it correctly.
And that's what he's probably thinking. Like when he took it down, like, man, I probably should have addressed it a little bit different than what I did.
I hope so. Let's go to Leo on our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got a couple of thoughts on this. D-Mace, you played. A.J. Brown still got Mariota's phone number, yes or no?
I have no idea if he does. I'm pretty
But, I
sure.
mean,
I would assume he does, yeah.
Sure, he's only been gone, a few minutes. So he could have easily picked up the phone and had a real conversation. And in that conversation, he could have shared, hey, you were the best leader I ever played with, particularly when I first came into the league. Thanks for what you did for me. He could have said it that way. He chose to do it in a public way. I can't debate why. My other thought is this. Let's say the Corey Davis experience with the Jets didn't go very well, and Corey Davis is back on the open market. Let's say, hypothetically, the Cardinals pick him up to replace Kirk being gone. And Tannehill put out on Twitter, hey, Corey, congratulations, best hands of any receiver I ever played with. How's AJ going to like hearing that? See, because I think AJ is sensitive. I absolutely agree with you. He got in a Twitter spat a while back with Paul Kuharsky about something that Paul said.
It was about Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, and exactly, that's what it was. But my point is, I think he's very sensitive, and it's not an attack. AJ's a heck of a player, but I will say this: for a guy as young in his career, he spent a lot of time hurt, and he shows a tendency to drop some balls. My advice to AJ would be, work on staying well and work on that jug machine and get those hands right. That's what needs to be happening right now. There's plenty of blame to go around. There were some games that he dropped multiple balls. Think of the Seattle game. There was games that, for a guy who's a superstar, he drops a fair number of balls. I'm just saying, he's getting caught up in Twitter more than he should. He needs to concentrate on the business at hand. That's my thought.
Thanks for the
call. I'll get off there.
Thanks for the call.
I mean, listen, he has a point in regards to, listen, if Ryan Tannehill has said that about Corey Davis, and I'm going to be honest, if I was AJ, I would feel a certain way too. It's just the way it is.
I don't know how you could.
Yes, I would feel a certain way.
And it could have been innocent. It could have been harmless. But again, words, people are going to view it as it's tweets and text. There's no way. It's a dangerous game because there's no way for you to truly understand how someone feels in a tweet or a text, right? A lot of times. All right, we'll come back, start the third hour with You Just Made the List. That's next.
From Bellevue to Hermitage,
their football field might be nicer than Nissan Stadium's field.
We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Music City. Start a profitable new chapter of your life and be your own boss with your very own Little Guys Movers franchise. In fact, no matter where you are, from Green Hills to the Gulch to down in Franklin, if you can hear my voice, there's an affordable, profitable Little Guys franchise opportunity nearby. Use your existing 401k to invest in yourself. Financing options are available. Join a team with 30 plus years of growth and good times. Learn more at littleguysfranchise.com. That's littleguysfranchise.com. And then make that call.
Zines First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Erectile dysfunction ruins sex, but it's more than that. It harms otherwise good relationships. It destroys marriages. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it can be extremely hard on a man's self-esteem. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with ED, if it's affecting you, I want you to know that if you're like most men, we can treat it and get you back to the man you used to be. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. Our protocols have success rates as high as 90%. We've successfully treated thousands of men in the Music City, and we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years. You could even last up to an hour and experience great sex again that is satisfying for both you and your partner. In treating your health, expertise matters, so make an appointment today. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
It's watching the top players take the ice. It's hard-fought games that end in victory. It's showing your favorite team to your favorite people. Secure your seats for the 2022-23 Nashville Predators season today to ensure you never miss a game at Bridgestone Arena. Plus, enjoy Nashville locker room discounts, exclusive presale offers, and more. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets. Join the Loyal Legion today and paint the town Preds. That's NashvillePredators.com/season tickets. NashvillePredators.com/season tickets.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Good morning.
Robby and Rexrode mornings from 6 to 10.
It's not bad. Might have to work on that. Not bad. See, it's a starting point.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell media station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game. Are you angry? No, really. Has that one person got you fuming? Well, call them out. Now's your chance to tell them.
You know what? You just made the list.
You just made the list.
Here we go.
Let us know who's on your list. Call 615-737-1025. You just made the list. Now, on Darren, Daunic, and Chase.
It's therapy time. It's time for you to release. It's time for you to tell us who or what has made you mad. And we know you've had all week to think about this. You've had all week to hold this in and then let it out going into the weekend so you can have a good weekend. You'll feel better for doing that. 615-737-1025. We've got My Chemical Romance tickets, Bridgestone Arena, August 23rd on the line, a pair of tickets to the best one. But you're going to have to call in and participate. That's our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. D-Mace, do you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
And this is concerning drivers. And, I mean, you can be a driver anywhere. But I'm just talking about the drivers that drive along Hillsborough Road in the morning. Because Hillsborough Road is like a free-flowing road. There's not many lights, so it's just like going. But there are people, you got to turn off side streets and stuff like that. So when you're driving, and if you're in the head, you're at the head of the pack, and there's like 6 or 7 cars behind you, and all y'all are going at the same speed pretty much, 40, 45 or whatnot. And you see another car like coming off the side streets, they really can't turn, and they're not anticipating that they will be able to turn because they see that there's like 5 or 6 cars behind the car that's in the front. So to them, they're like, I'm not turning. I'm just going to wait for all the 5 cars to go by. And there's no stop sign. There's no yield sign. There's no pedestrian, sign saying, hey, if pedestrians walking across, you got to stop. If the traffic is free flowing, and everybody's going, do not, and I repeat, do not stop your car so the person can make a left, okay? You're going to cause an accident behind you because no one's expecting you to stop. You didn't put on a blinker. You didn't, slowly slow down. You just stop. There's no stop signs. You stop. And if someone's not paying attention or they're just driving, they can run into the back of you. Why? Because you chose to stop when you shouldn't have. So people that do that, you make my list.
You just made
All right.
the list.
Okay. One, I hate to do this because he's not here. Because the team is traveling back. But I've been meaning to do this for weeks. And I did say last week, I forgot to put you on the list, but I'm going to have to, he knows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Willie knows.
You putting Villy on the list?
I'm putting Villy on the list. And that's just one of a couple things I've got to get off my chest. But it's very simple, and the listeners don't really get a good understanding of where I'm going with this, but yourself and Chase and Elijah do. And, I do the pick 6 questions all the way up until the Super Bowl, and then I'm like, I'm out. Okay, 6 months is enough. And Villy wants to go all the way to the end, to the Final Four in the national championship. So we're winding down. We got a couple more weeks of pick 6, and then it's going to come to a close for this season. And so Villy takes over after that. Well, Villy does the questions. And then, typical fashion, we always send the questions to everybody in our group text. Mm-hmm. Well, you know where I'm going with this. He is not very good at taking a picture. He does it sideways, and when you try to turn it to look at it, and then it flips the other way. It's one of those things where you can't ever get a good – every time you turn your phone, you're trying to look at it the correct way. It turns the wrong way because he doesn't know how to take the picture correctly.
Billy's not a good picture taker.
It's very frustrating. The side picture, right? The side picture. And by the way, I have friends that do that too. Like they take the side picture. You have to tilt your head to see the picture. It's like, come on.
Because we're so taught now and used to taking pictures not vertical but turning your camera, Yeah. So I guess that's what Billy, he's so stuck on turning your camera and taking a picture. I'm trying to help you out, Billy. But you still made the list.
Of course we know. So we got to do that. Like he's just got to get better at the pictures. The other thing, there's two others. One, Arby's getting rid of potato cakes. Like we know they've got it. They're on the forever list for that. And the other thing is this happened to me this week. Now, you ever seen a 2-lane turning lane, right?
Yes.
This is at a big intersection, and here's a twist. 2-lane turning lane with a twist. One of the lanes, the inside lane, is bus only. I'm like, oh, okay. Bus only. That's weird. So as I'm coming up and I've got to get in I was like, oh, nobody's in that one. And I see, oh, it's bus only. I got to get over in this other one that's jammed with cars. It's full. The problem is, do you know who was at the front of the line in this 2-lane turning lane at the light?
Bus only.
A bus. One of those double connected buses. Like the extra long MTA bus. The extra long one. You know why? Because they probably couldn't make the turn because it's the extra long and on the inside lane, so they got to be on the outside lane because the extra. Well, here's an idea. Maybe they should have thought of that when you have a bus only lane on the inside. The bus was in the other lane where we're all supposed to be.
So if they're going to make a bus-only lane, then the other one should be a car-only lane.
Well, I think it's assumed.
Or SUV.
I think it's assumed. If you have a bus-only turning lane, that maybe only the cars. It's kind of like you go to the rest stop, the rest area, and it's got the sign basically trucks arrow this way, and it splits cars this way, right?
Yeah.
So it's. I don't know if you'd have to do the cars. I think if you just had trucks this way, it would probably be assumed you should go to the other one because it's a V, right? It's a fork. If it's telling you semis are supposed to go this way, then I would say everybody else is supposed to go over here. But anyway, they still put cars or whatever. Yeah. So I got to put the bus that was not in the bus-only turning lane, but was in just the other turning lane. So I've got to put that double bus, the double MTA bus that was not in the proper lane on the list. I got to do it.
You just made the list.
And I'm pretty sure there were other people thinking just like you.
There's not a doubt in my mind. Well, like I said, there's a bunch of us behind it, and I'm sure we're all staring at the same bus going, really? Like you're in this lane, and right over here that's nobody's in is the bus-only turning lane? So, yeah, I can't imagine I was the only person that felt that way.
I'd have gotten in bus-only lane just because that bus was in our lane.
I thought about it. I'm going to be totally honest. I thought about it.
I don't think anyone would have blamed you either, considering the bus was in the other lane.
But nobody else had done it, and I'm like, man, I'm going to
You don't want to be the guy, huh?
I'm going to get the side stare, right? There's a part of me that didn't care, but I was like, nobody else has done it, And I know, by the way, if I do it, probably others will follow.
Yeah, they'll
right?
follow right behind.
By the way, we're all having the same thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
okay, should I just go over there? And I wonder how close somebody came to pulling the trigger. Like, forget this. I'm just going to go over there in the bus lane. But nobody did it. Nobody did it. So that's mine. Elijah, do you have anything?
It's funny you mentioned those ruthless buses. When I was in Chicago for like 3 days, that happened at least 4 times. At least. The buses, they roam free.
Yeah, they don't care. They have no rules.
No, they have no rules. It's ruthless. But
buses make the rules.
They set the tone and make it dangerous, but not all of them do. I'm not going to disparage all bus drivers. But no, I think we've had a solid week, but I do want to press the button again.
You just made the list.
A clean week for Elijah. All right, a pair of tickets to see My Chemical Romance at Bridgestone on August 23rd. That's what's on the line. So jump in there. We're going to come back. We've got loaded lines, and we're going to find out who or what is Major Bad. But first, I'm going to talk about the crazy night of college hoops last night. Yes, round 2, the Sweet 16 round is underway. After tonight, they'll have it down to 8. After this weekend, they'll have it down to 4. And wow, boy, there were some upsets last night. 2 number ones going down. Truly wild. But the best part of it all is I had so many of you right here listening to our show that have been sending out wagers on the games, and I love it. So much fun being able to bet on these games with you, especially when I win, if I'm just being totally honest. Shout out to everyone who's been challenging the 102.5 The Game community rather than the house, like at C. Sprink, at Vols OG, at Parlay Pity. Going to have a ton of other wagers that I've already put out there for tonight's games as well. For those who haven't heard, I've been using Wager. Been talking about it for weeks now. A new social sports betting app based right here in Nashville. It allows you to bet on sports with your friends, your coworkers, and other people right here in the state of Tennessee instead of betting against a book that's incentivized to see you lose. Also, you can smack talk on this app, follow friends, see what others are wagering on. You never have to chase anybody down for their money. It's totally different than every other app out there. I'm sending out and accepting wagers right now every single day, all the way through the weekend. There's going to be so much action. But remember, you must be 21 years of age or older. Download the app on your phone's browser at wager.me/DMAC. Again, that's at wager, WAGR.me/DMAC, DMAC. And join that 102.5 The Game crew, and let's see if you can make some money off of me. As always, you've got to be 21 years of age or older to play. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-889-9789.
Sometimes their glass is half full.
That was unbelievable. It was the best NFL draft they've ever had.
Sometimes glass half empty.
What are we getting ourselves into here? Tough game.
And sometimes it's all about the numbers.
1 win, and they've gone on this streak, and now they're at 500.
Hang out with Darren, Daunic, and Chase from 10 to 2 during your workday. Presented by Curacion CBD on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
It's that time of year again as college basketball's tournament is finally upon us. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is the #1 source for sports betting needs and info. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
It's watching the top players take the ice. It's hard-fought games that end in victory. It's showing your favorite team to your favorite people. Secure your seats for the 2022-23 Nashville Predators season today to ensure you never miss a game at Bridgestone Arena. Plus, enjoy Nashville locker room discounts, exclusive presale offers, and more. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets. Join the loyal legion today and paint the town Preds. That's NashvillePredators.com/season tickets. NashvillePredators.com/season tickets.
Hey everybody, it's me, Chase McCabe, and I'm so excited to be talking about my go-to drink when I'm out and about, Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball is the first and most awarded peanut butter whiskey in the world. It's an original, just like me, the suit. I take Screwball as a shot, but it's great on the rocks, in an old-fashioned, an espresso martini, and many more. So next time you're out and about, ask for Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022, Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Erectile dysfunction ruins sex, but it's more than that. It harms otherwise good relationships. It destroys marriages. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it can be extremely hard on a man's self-esteem. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. And if you're suffering with ED, if it's affecting you, I want you to know that if you're like most men, we can treat it and get you back to the man you used to be. At the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. Our protocols have success rates as high as 90%. We've successfully treated thousands of men in the Music City, and we have a variety of treatment options and treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years. You could even last up to an hour and experience great sex again that is satisfying for both you and your partner. In treating your health, expertise matters. So make an appointment today. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
All right, let's see who or what's made people mad. Pair of tickets to see My Chemical Romance, Bridgestone Arena, August 23rd. John the mailman on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Team A says, piggybacking on what Darren just said, when you're in the far right lane trying to turn right on red and someone pulls up past you on your left, completely blocking your line of sight to oncoming traffic, you just made the list. We've all experienced that, right? All experienced that. That
You
is
just
a
made
good
the
one.
list.
It's like, really, man? Come on. Shane on our text line. Whoa. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Hey, Darren, the Arby's at Hurricane Mills in Humphreys County has potato cakes. What? I'm not going to Humphreys County, though. Sorry.
The last of a dying breed.
You don't want those potato cakes.
Is that like the last Blockbuster? You know, the one that used to exist in Alaska? Is that Humphreys County Arby's the last one?
With potato cakes?
With potato cakes?
The corporate memos don't get out to Humphreys County as fast as they do.
Takes a minute to get out there.
Still using the Pony Express.
So, Darren, if you want those potato cakes, you better go out there and get them.
Okay. Hurricane Mills, here I come this weekend. Road trip!
Potato cakes.
They better be hot. Let's go to Nate. Nate, who or what is on your list?
First, Darren, I got a comment on your list because I feel like who you should be putting on the list is the guy or lady who decided the bus-only turn lane should be the inside lane.
Right.
They got to swing wider, so make it the outside lane.
Thank you, Nate. Yes, it makes no sense, and I'm sure that's what that double bus was doing. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like you want me to turn in the inside lane? Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have some property damage, but
Yeah,
I mean, I guess the city will pay for that.
Here's an extra layer,
mind.
Nate. Here's an extra layer to add to that. Somebody didn't think this through. By the way, I watched in my rear view. Guess what was right after you turned? Up on the far right-hand side. This is another reason.
Turn only lane?
No, a stop.
Oh.
A bus stop. So you're talking about not thinking that one through?
That's good.
You're right. That's not thinking it through. You want me to turn in the left lane, but the bus stop is over to the right.
Over to the far right.
Yeah, that's not cool. Whoops.
But unfortunately, the person that's on my list is not here today. The PD Chase McCabe is on the list.
Huh?
You just made the list.
I was listening to Jared on Monday. And we all know Monday, well, really except Jared and Caroline, knew that the NHL trade deadline was that day. And basically what I heard is that he really didn't care about the trade deadline. So they didn't play the Nashville Predators GM David Poyle's interview or presser after the trade deadline was over. Being the flagship station of the Nashville Predators, I would expect to drop everything and listen to what the GM of the club that you represent has to say. I feel like Chase should have made an executive decision and said, no, we need to play this just to see what he says, because I know everybody that's a Preds fan was wondering what his thoughts were during the trade deadline, especially with the Forsberg stuff. I know we played it later and everything, but that's just how I feel.
Okay. Nate, thank you for the phone call. I certainly don't want to speak on Chase's behalf, but this is the only input I'll have on that subject. He was about to go to Vegas. My guess is he was trying to line up cabanas poolside. Really wasn't even paying attention to what was happening on the afternoon show that day. He was about to jump on a plane and go to Vegas.
Yeah,
so
he was gone.
That's just my input. I don't have, I don't know that. That's all I can add.
It's a theory.
It's just
It's a theory that's floating out there.
He's like, how much again for the cabana? What? Is that an hour or for a day? Let's go to Eric. Eric, who or what is on your list?
Hey, guys, this is something I've harped on before, and I'm going to harp on again, and it's concerning with the fact that whatever you have to do where you're supposed to be going online to pay bills, all this stuff, supposed to make your life easier, but it does nothing to me but screw with me, and it makes me miserable. And the latest on my list is Cricket Wireless. And here's why, guys. So a couple years ago, I used to mail in my payments to Cricket. Then they sent me a notice saying, well, we no longer are going to be able to accept you mailing in your bills. You have to go online and go through an automated system, which I did. So for the past couple of years, it's not been a problem at all. It's auto pay deal where they just taken out my account on the auto pay system. Had no problem with no issues with it. Well, the last time they went to do it, they says we are unable to access the auto pay system that's been set up. If you don't pay this by a certain time, guess what? Your service will be suspended. So my service was temporarily suspended. So I had to get back on my phone, actually go through quick because I can't make home calls or anything. I had to go through them, which was through some sort of recording, to get reinstated service. So, but when I did that, I was charged an extra $5 for a late fee, and then on top of that, another $4 for a service fee. So I had to pay an extra $9 through something that's no fault of my own. They went through the automated system, which was no problem. They couldn't do it, but because I'm now punished for something that was not my fault, I had to pay an extra $9. So it's just another thing where it's like if they make a mistake or whatever, oh, it's our bad and stuff like that, but we're not punished for it. But if you get socked for it, if it's like it doesn't run on time, or if you're late or whatever, through no fault of your own, through their automated system or online system, guess what? You got to pay extra for it. It is just so ridiculous, and it frustrates the heck out of me. So Cricket Wireless, you are on my list.
You just made the list.
Eric. Sorry.
You on the list. He has a point about that, though, really. Huh? Like, if y'all don't make the automated system paying-wise user-friendly and there's difficulties and you can't pay, then you call them to get it taken care of. They should realize, oh, okay, our system is a little bit difficult. We will let you through this time and try to help you out next time. They shouldn't just automatically slap them with a $9 penalty. I think that's wrong.
Derek, we've got a development on the text line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. No name texter says, I live in Humphreys County, and those potato cakes at that Arby's are never fresh. I'm out then. I'm out.
Ooh, I'm glad you didn't go out there.
Thank you.
You was about to make a road trip,
That saved me an hour-long trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I'm not going now. Not going to Humphreys County for
not
fresh potato cakes?
Absolutely. You
I'm
don't
out.
do that. No.
Let's go to Barrett on our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. Barrett, who or what's on your list?
Hey, Darren, you know you're my guy, but you deserve to be on the list for not knowing the following, okay? Instead of being mad at Wiley, just take the photo from the text, save to phone, open in edit mode, hit the rotate circle, hit save, boom. It takes 20 seconds. Your picture will be straight up oriented, ever which way you like it. It takes about 15 to 30 seconds. Do the tutorial. and leave school alone.
Well, how do I sign up for that class with you so I can sign up? Because I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
Got
man.
plenty of problems with Willie, but rotating the photo ain't one of them. So, you guys, I was hoping somebody would touch on this earlier in the week, but in all seriousness, you've been talking about Rick Barnes for a long time, about the leadership and the failure in the big games. And we were watching that game in public, the Michigan game. And at the end, I'll never forget the whole bar. It was like 20 of us. We were like, what in the world is going on here? That poor player from UT, the young kid who just started crying, he lost it, he marveled, and he was just totally sobbing.
Kenny Chandler,
Who had to console him? Michigan's coach. And that was the most powerful image. That still photograph's been going around. All my friends at HBCU, alumni, sports fans, they're like, this is true leadership. What a man. What a gentleman. It's not always about your kids. It's about the whole of the sport. And it was a really deeply moving, powerful image, and I just kind of wondered what y'all thought about that. It told me that Barnes was lacking more than just on the court results.
We don't have time. We can address this a little bit later. Thank you, Barrett. Yeah, appreciate it. I would say it was just in the moment, like he's going through the handshake line, and he lost it, right? And so
he has a relationship with the kid.
Right. And Juwan Howard's right there, right? So, I mean, I don't think it's like, hey, he looked at Rick Barnes, he started breaking down, and then ran and jumped in Juwan Howard's arms. Just think it was like perfect timing and in the moment, right? And,
But hey, listen, here's the thing. That's a great recruiting tool because he'll fight for you and he'll hug you up.
No question about it.
So that's a good recruiting tool right there.
All right, let's go to Rob. Rob, who or what is on your list?
Hey, guys. The wonderful Jared Make-Believe Stillman is on my list. And I know we got, guys, you've been talking about interpretation today, interpreting text and stuff of that nature. Jared is the only human being I've ever seen that knows exactly what's going on in everyone's mind and can tell you about it. For example, and this is fiction, but Vrabel could come out and say Derrick Henry is a top 3 running back. And Jared will come out and say, oh, my God, did you hear it? Did you understand what he just said? Mike Vrabel has just said we should trade Derrick Henry because he's only a top 3 running back. And it happens constantly. And D-Mace yesterday, he was on yours, and it was one after another. He knew exactly what you were trying to say and exactly what A.J. Brown was trying to say. And it just blows my mind that if he is that intelligent and knows what everybody's saying, he should play the lottery a lot more often and get off the radio.
Oh, man.
All right, Rob. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You just made the list.
Well done.
That was funny.
All right. We got a lot of texts. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to everybody's phone call. We do have to step away. We're going to come back with Teresa Walker. We're going to talk about the Titans. By the way, Jayon Brown, no longer a Titan. We'll tell you where he is signed and do all that with Teresa next here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Do you have that one person or thing that just makes you mad? Join us every Friday at noon on the DDC for You Just Made the List. Fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com, your one-stop petroleum solution, and try Star Movie on the DDC on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
You just made the list.
Shine down in 3, 2, 1.
Cut the car.
The hottest rock band on the planet, Shine Down. May 4th, Bridgestone Arena.
It's about to get.
With special guests, The Pretty Reckless and Diamante. Shine Down. Tickets are on sale now at the box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by 102.9 The Buzz, Nashville's rock station. If you missed the latest from Stillman and Company, delivered by TriStar Moving.
Teron Davenport is with us. I love the move. What was your reaction to the Robert Woods trade?
Yeah, and that 6th-round pick is not just any ordinary 6th-round pick. It's next year's 6th-round pick. So I think you have to look at that. And when you put the other contracts in perspective, especially the one that Jacksonville signed Christian Kirk with, at 17 plus a year, getting Robert Woods, an established guy who has 2 1,000-yard receivers seasons under his belt and was well en route to another one, and 2 90 reception seasons under his belt. I think that is really a part of being great around Ryan Tannehill. And I think the move's a home run. We could get into it a little bit more just as far as his catch rate is concerned, his drop rate, one of the best in the league.
Tune in Stillman and Company with Jared Stillman. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
On ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Sunday.
Hey, Chase Elliott here. Hi, it's William Byron. Kevin Harvick. Hey, it's Joey Logano.
Green flag. The stars of the NASCAR Cup Series turn left and right on the road course at the Circuit of the Americas for the Echo Park, Texas Grand Prix. Coverage begins at 1:30
on ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Vanderbilt football head coach Clark Lee. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Thank you, Coach. Back here on the DDC on this Friday afternoon. Everybody's having a good day. I love You Just Made the List. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. It just cracks me up.
That was funny. That last one was funny.
And I need to sign up for Barrett's class on clearly how to.
Did
you know what he was talking about?
Yeah, I know what he was talking about. Okay. But you don't want to have to go.
Why do you guys suggest that to me then?
No, but you don't want to have to go through all of that. If somebody sends you a picture, you just want to be able to click it and read it. You don't have to click it, save it, rotate it, even though Barrett is absolutely right.
Edit it.
Yeah, edit it. Make it smaller, all that stuff.
Just send it correctly. Jeez. But I will sign up for Barrett's class. He said it only takes 20 seconds. Let's bring in Teresa Walker from the Associated Press. She is all-knowing. She probably knows how to change that when people take pictures incorrectly. Teresa, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good, Darren, but, all I know is you can only fix so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when my mom took pictures, somebody cuts a head off, you can't fix that. So.
No.
Just was headless.
You're right about that. Jayon Brown said his goodbyes on the gram, or is it Insta? And now we know why. He is with the Raiders, or IG. Thank you. He is now with the Raiders. Jayon Brown, we thought it was going to be it this time last year, but now it is officially it because he's gone another way. What do you take of the 5 years he spent here with the Titans?
Incredible value. Let's not forget this was a 5th-round pick, and he absolutely performed and helped. He was one of John Robinson's grand slams because when you can get a 5th-rounder who comes in and starts, and the reason he's now with somebody else is, they found somebody else in the draft, David Long, and then, they pick up off of waivers last December, Zach Cunningham. So, for a franchise that was, looking at likely having to replace Jayon Brown, Rashaan Evans as well, through the draft this year, they found their guys already. So, they don't have to worry about going out and finding somebody to fill those spots. It was kind of clear when Jayon, when both Cunningham and David Long were available and healthy, Jayon was he was a key piece, but, they upgraded at those spots. So very glad for Jayon, a pro to deal with. Always a pleasure. I mean, I don't think I ever saw the guy without a smile on his face, except maybe in the couple minutes right after a loss. But, I mean, just an absolute pleasure to always deal with Jayon, and a true pro, and just, somebody you always love talking to. So very happy for him that he's found a place for him and a place that he can fit. And let's face it, a team that's, geared up in the AFC West. And then, the Titans have to be pretty confident and happy with what they've got on their own. So they managed to upgrade positions, and Jayon Brown's got a new spot. That's the good part of the NFL when it works right.
We had Bob Kravitz on last hour, who's covered the Colts for a long time, and the addition of Matt Ryan has basically got the odds makers saying this division is up for grabs between the Colts and the Titans. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. Didn't we go through this a year ago when they got Carson Wentz? I mean,
not with me. I did not pick, but a lot of people did go crazy. Yes, like, oh my gosh, yes.
And they're doing it again. I mean, it's almost like looking for the newest flavor of Mountain Dew out in the different stores, because everyone's got their own, version, it seems, of Mountain Dew. And, it's the newest quarterback. It's new flavor. And, yes, there is a good team there in Indianapolis. I'm not dismissing what the Colts have. And there's an assumption that Matt Ryan will come in and just fix everything, and it'll be rainbows and ponies for everybody. But, and as good as they were last year, can they protect Matt Ryan? What have they done to fix the offensive line? Tell me that, then maybe I'll get excited.
Okay, well, I like that. Coming strong with that. I love it.
I like it, Teresa.
Tell me, what did you make of Robert Woods and Austin Hooper getting sworn in this week and talking with the media?
Well, great talkers, and we love that from our side of it, but it's more the fit for this team. I mean, a year ago they brought back Anthony Ferkser, Jeff Swain, and and Michael Pruitt when they got him off of waivers, and it's like, this is who we're going to be. They never really replaced Johnny Smith last year. With Austin Hooper, they bring in a guy who, for whatever reason, they just, he was being more used as a run blocker and part of a puzzle in Cleveland, and yet he was a two-time Pro Bowler at the end of his stint in Atlanta. So, you bring in a guy who can catch a lot of balls. Oh, and he does block in the run game. And, so it's like totally upgraded that position. And then on Robert Woods, who doesn't love the nickname Bobby Trees? I mean, that's just fun. But then you look at his production and what he has done on the field, his versatility in the run game. I mean, the Rams were using him to catch balls, run block, which is, I'm sure, what the Titans absolutely love about him the most. But he can catch a lot of balls. You can use him in the run game a little bit. He was behind only Deebo Samuel for number of rushing touchdowns among wide receivers. So, that gives Todd Downing and new passing game coordinator Tim Kelly some things to work with, pieces to work with. So, I think it was a win-win. They haven't done much. I know Titan fans are panicking because they haven't done, quote, much in free agency. Well, this team, one, didn't have a ton of room to, a ton of cap space to spend money, but, they seem to have done the right, John Robinson's filling the holes. A year ago, needed help on defense. His big two acquisitions were Bud Dupree and Danico Autry. We saw the effect that had on the defense. And this year, let's face it, the offense needs help. Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill certainly can't do it all. Neither can A.J. Brown. Can I say his name after the tweets this morning? I'm just kidding. But, they've gotten all those guys some help. And, when you see that the arms race that's going on in the AFC West, they needed more help at wide receiver. Still want to see them do more on that early in the draft in April, but they needed a tight end, and they went out and got two pieces. As great as Julio Jones was in his career, it feels like they've upgraded with Bobby Trees, even with him coming off an ACL.
We're talking with Teresa Walker, AP Pro Football writer. Teresa, that's where I wanted to go. Should there be some concerns in regards to bringing in Robert Woods, a.k.a. Bobby Trees, because of the ACL? I know what he was before the ACL. He was the Rams' number one guy, and he put up a bunch of numbers, but we don't know what he's going to be post-ACL. So should there be some concerns, and do you think the Titans will bring him along very slowly?
Well, yes. I mean, they'll let him do what he does. I mean, we've seen, Jeffrey Simmons had an amazing comeback from his ACL. He's several years younger when that happened, right? Robert Woods is 29. He'll be 30, I think, later this year. So, you're going to take it a little more carefully. And, and hey, the date that you're really kind of wondering is at the beginning of the season in September. So there's no reason to, he has made clear he wants to be out on the practice field, but, he also made clear the Titans told him don't share a timetable now. So, his injury was November 12th. We saw Taylor Lewan was back on the field at the start of the season with an injury, in mid-October the season before. Bud Dupree, he talked later that he did kind of rush back. He tore his at the beginning of December the season before. So, is he available in September? Is it maybe November? We're just going to have to wait and see. But that's why I still think you can't say, oh, we signed him, we're good at wide receiver. We got Nick Westbrook-Kekina, we've got some other guys we'll put in here and there. No, I still think that, with where this offense is, with where the AFC is going, this passing offense can be a lot better and maybe take some of the pressure off of Derrick Henry, as he comes back from his own injury. So get another receiver in that first round, or at least the second, and give this team some more help, somebody who's going to be young and healthy. Mm-hmm. So to give yourself some insurance.
Now, even with all of that, we're talking about the skilled positions and the guys that they brought in, and if everything pans out, if Robert Woods is healthy, then I believe it's going to be a major upgrade. But we can say all of that, but then the offensive line. They've released guys. They've signed Ben Jones back, but there's still a void in that offensive line. Do you think because they're going to need another wide receiver, we know that, but do you think they address the offensive line via the draft, or do you think they're comfortable right now with who they have in-house?
I'll say this. I think they'll probably use a draft pick on an offensive lineman. But, I still feel there's so many guys still available in free agency. And what we have seen them do is add veterans into April, even into the first week or so of May. They've been so busy trying to clear cap space and address a couple of the major needs, keeping Harold Landry, keeping Ben Jones, and then adding Hooper and Robert Woods via trade. So, I think that's an area that they've got so much money and draft capital already invested in the offensive line. But that said, they surprise us. John Robinson might be trying to still make up for the Isaiah Wilson pick that just went Wile E. Coyote over the cliff. So it's always possible, but it just feels like this is a year with all the money that they've needed to spend elsewhere. Go sign a veteran or two that you can get relatively inexpensively, and then, add another offensive lineman, fourth round, fifth round. This is where those compensatory picks will come in handy, I think.
No doubt. Teresa, appreciate the visit. As always, have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk soon.
My pleasure. Thank you both.
Teresa Walker, Associated Press. Been doing it a long time. Hall of Famer. We'll come back, wrap up the third hour. Don't forget Pick 6 coming up at 1 o'clock. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Sunday night.
So the Beast Line strikes.
The Predators return home to Bridgestone Arena for a battle with the Flyers. Pre-game at 4, face-off at 5 on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. No issues going into our weekend. The possibility of an isolated shower on your Friday can't be ruled out, but most of the day stays mostly cloudy and dry. Also on the cooler side. High temperatures today in the upper 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Winter's a bad time for your furnace to go out, but it's never a bad time to call Lee Company. Our heating and air conditioning pros are available 24/7. No heat? Don't wait. Call Lee Company now at 615-567-1000. Our expert technicians will diagnose the issue and fix it right the first time. When you're cold, you need someone you can count on to bring the heat. Call Lee Company now at 615-567-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Cobra, featuring the new LTDX drivers, engineered for the longest total distance with extreme forgiveness. Internal weights create the power core, and hot face technology delivers faster ball speeds at every contact point. 4 drivers to fit every golfer's needs. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
At Genesis Diamonds, it's not just a new year. It's a new opportunity to bring you more choices, more value, more ways to celebrate your love. So we've expanded our selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds from a ½ carat to 15 carats, all shapes, all sizes, all at our famous no middleman prices. We've brought in even more exclusive designer jewelry, new cutting-edge, fashion-forward rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and pendants. We have the styles and looks on every woman's wish list, things you can't find anywhere else. And for 2022, Genesis is now offering a truly spectacular collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We have all the most popular styles in stock with no wait list and no restrictions. Is this the year you reward yourself with a premier name and timepieces? Come to Genesis in 2022 and let our non-commissioned experts help you celebrate those important milestones. We guarantee the best value, the highest quality, and the strongest warranties and guarantees in the jewelry industry. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
For the love of the climb. For the love of the fall. For the love of knowing your kids' laughter is the sweetest music there is. For the love of Tennessee. Travel safe. Brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
A show that doesn't pull any punches.
And they win a playoff game and they get to the divisional round and he doesn't give up a sack the rest of the year. I don't give 2 poops. I'm done.
And has an opinion on everything.
That ref crew that was just terrible. Threw flags on almost every possession.
Jared Stillman hosts Stillman and Company.
Tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
So we gave away My Chemical Romance tickets for You Just Made the List, delivered by TriStar Movers with 5-star service and fueled by Parman Energy. Visit ParmanEnergy.com, your one-stop petroleum solution. And for Pick 6, listen to what we've got. Tickets to see Jim Gaffigan at Bridgestone on March 30th. That's coming up. That's next week. By the way, do you realize next week we're going to be in April?
Yes, I do.
What happened?
Time.
What happened?
Time. Hey, but you know what?
You can't get that stuff anywhere else, folks. That's why you tune in right there. Time.
That was mind-blowing, wasn't it? Oh, man.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, my son told me the other day, and it was confirmed again yesterday, that they've passed a law that say like daylight saving time is gone. Like they're not rolling the clock back anymore.
I know it's been heavily discussed for a long time.
Now,
I've not seen.
I right? I think I did. My son told me, I think last week, and then it was confirmed again. So, but I haven't heard a lot about it either. That's why I'm like, is that, do you know, Elijah, did they pass a law?
I saw where something was proposed. Or
but it's been proposed.
It's been proposed a lot.
I was going to say, I don't know. I did see something where like it was voted on. It passed a certain part of legislation, not the entirety. I think it might have gone through the House. Needs to go through the Senate. But there is. I do know there is significant progress.
I think the Senate approved it, but it's still got. I don't think it's done.
Like
right?
That.
No.
Yeah.
There's always layers.
Yeah.
Always
layers to this.
Layers. Yes. Yeah. I don't think. I feel like we would all know if it's going away. I think we would all know.
I mean, our listeners know, so tweet at us or use the text line and
smart.
let us know. Yeah, they're smart. They let us know. So
I don't feel like that's done. I know it may be going through the proper steps, and maybe it's well on its way.
So here it is. It says U.S. Senate approves bill to make daylight savings time permanent. So it's been through the Senate. They've approved it.
Yeah,
so is that it?
I don't think so.
I guess they got to go through.
Again, I think if that was it, it would be, we would know.
Yeah.
I think if it does get passed, it won't be put in place for at least another year, I would say.
No, they need to do it ASAP, like today.
They'll probably move the NCAA. In 2029, this will go away. We feel very comfortable about this.
They're gonna give y'all. They're gonna give y'all a couple of years to prepare for it.
Playoffs expand.
In
2029.
That's when
at this rate, maybe we compare it to the new Titan Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go into effect when the new Titan Stadium, the new roofed Titan Stadium, is built.
Will you have a problem if it's not a roof?
Yes, I will.
The ceiling is the roof.
Thank you, Michael. And by the way, did you really ask that question? Really?
What? Yeah, I know. Really? I should have asked.
I mean, seriously?
I think we would talk
question
about
mark,
that.
Will
We
Ferrell,
would talk
really?
that. We would talk about it for the whole week if
I was
that.
Say, do you really? You're still unsure, unclear? Why don't you tweet about it, D-Nice? Give me a 6-word tweet on it.
Oh man. Yeah. Maybe that was too soon.
D-Max says Nissan Stadium, best stadium ever.
Don't need to change it.
Don't need to change it. No, that's too many words.
Yeah. Yep. So,
I think a lot of people are saying that it's what we just read. It's past the Senate.
Nah, it has to go through.
Hasn't made it to the House.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need to get it in the House's hands. And they need to pass this thing ASAP. You know?
But has anything changed? Because we've all felt the same way for a long time. So why now? I mean, I guess the way I look at it is why now? We've been having this same discussion. We've all had the same feelings for a good while. Not a good while as in a couple of months, not a couple of years. This has been going on for a long, long time. So is it finally at the breaking point? Like we're finally going to move forward with this and actually get rid of it?
I hope so.
I know, but I'm just saying, what changed? I mean, we've been talking about this forever.
Mm-hmm. Is money involved? Can money be involved?
Well, that would be your answer.
Exactly.
Somebody going to profit from this?
Somebody's going to profit on when the sun comes up and when it goes down. Okay.
Now our listeners are we opened up a door. Now they're just too smart, and now it's going to make us feel dumb. It's like now these texts are coming in, and it's like, well, it's either up to the branch or the House, but then the Senate will be responsible for the bill, and then it's voted on, and then it's going to go through the
Hey, we asked them.
I know, but then they're going to. It's gonna be so. They're all smart, and so
they're gonna give it to us, man. If you ask for it, we're gonna get it. So, you know, you gotta love the listeners, man. They're gonna give us what we want.
Oh, we
asked for it, just like the potato cakes. You asked for it. They said it was out of Hendersonville. And then another caller called, texted in and said, "Nah, you don't want those potato cakes, buddy.
They're not even fresh.
They ain't even fresh."
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Scott from Shelbyville did text in. I didn't get a chance to read it, and said, "Hey, Darren forgot to tell you this. I've been meaning to tell you this. There's a Arby's at a pilot station on South Church Street, and they said they have potato cakes."
Wow, South Church Street?
He said, "I just asked them last week."
Man, that's even closer.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you might want to hit that up today.
But here's the question. Again, getting back to figuring out text and tweets. I don't know Scott from Shelbyville. I'm sure Scott is just like the rest of our listeners. Fantastic, right? Genuine, funny, great person. But you know what? He could be a jokester. We don't know him. Could be a prankster.
You get over there, you ask for potato cakes?
Yeah, his favorite show may be Impractical Jokers. Maybe this is a prank.
Hey, y'all got those potato cakes?
He's goofing on me. He's like, watch this. I'll get T-Mac to go to Pilot Station on South Church Street. It's like, hey, give me some of those potato cakes. They're like, dude, we got rid of those a year ago.
No, I think if he was pranking you, he would send you somewhere a little bit further. Yeah.
But that's it, though. That's what most people would think. But he's like, hey, if I make it too far, well, he's just going to immediately not go. So what I do is I make it realistic. And who knows? He may drive over there. Check it out.
I'm telling you, if you're in the area, you're going to check it out.
Look, we have done a good job for 3 hours today of reading into things, and I'm just trying to read into Scott from Shelbyville, his text. You know?
Well, straight to the point.
It was more than 6 words, but
it was straight to the point.
I want to believe him. I do, but I don't know. Maybe he's a prankster. He may be a jokester.
One on you, then.
He may want me to get on here next week and be like, Scott from Shelbyville, #jerk.
Yeah.
I went to Arby's on South Church Street, that Pilot Station, and they literally laughed me out of the place.
As a matter of fact, they're closed.
Yeah, just so you know, it's been a Subway for 6 months, dude.
They got you. Yep,
Arby's hasn't been here in 6 months, okay?
Oh, boy.
All right, we'll come back. By the way, Willie has not even sent the Pick 6 questions, which he told us he would do. Elijah, I need you to be thinking about this.
He sent them to me, I guess, and not anybody else then. So he sent them to me. I thought he might have sent them to you guys as well, but I have the questions.
You know why? So that was smart. He sent him just to Elijah, the sideway picture, rather than the group. So he wouldn't, there would be no comments on it. So he just sent the sideway picture to Elijah. Smart. Okay, well, then we do have our questions. We'll come back. We'll recap, make our picks, get your picks, a good prize on the line. We'll do that to begin the next hour here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
Need cash for that home improvement or want to finally be credit card debt free? How does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound right now? Loan Pronto can do it for you, whether you have a VA loan or a conventional loan. They're helping local homeowners convert their home equity into cash with zero closing costs. Willie Daunic here. Listen, your home value is up. Let Loan Pronto tap that equity and get you the cash you need. Pay off high interest loans. Start that home remodeling project. Veteran homeowners are really loving this because with a VA loan, you can tap 100% of your home's equity. That's a ton of cash. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They are doing loans with APRs in the 2s. And if you call now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call now to see what your options are. Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Smokeville Smoke Shop has been serving Hendersonville and Metro Nashville since 2015 and is committed to providing high-quality, hands-on, and personable customer service. Stop into Smokeville Smoke Shops in Hendersonville, Gallatin, Hermitage, and Goodlettsville to try any of their wide selection of locally sourced products and selection of top nationwide brands, including vapes, hookah, hand-blown glass, detox systems, e-juices, kratom products, leaf wraps, and much more. Visit Smokeville Smoke Shops today.
Hey, it's Elijah Campbell from Darren, Daunic, and Chase, and I got my radio start right here as an intern at ESPN 1025 The Game. It was an excellent experience, and we're now looking for new interns. If you think that's you, go ahead and send your resume over to together@cromwellmedia.com to apply.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County,
ESPN
1025 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Live from the Game Nashville studios, it's time for Darren, Daunic, and Chase. With hosts Darren McFarland, Willie Daunic, and Chase McCabe. On Nashville's best sports talk,
ESPN
1025 The Game. It's time to be a winner.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Pick this week's games against the spread for all the bragging rights.
You want some bad enough, then you come get some.
Feeling extra confident?
I'm the one true king.
Make that game your top shelf for double points. This is Pick 6. Now on Darren, Daunic, and Chase.
Final hour. Don't forget you can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Every single day our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Currently, D-Mace is frozen. If you're looking at him right now, he's frozen.
Am I frozen?
Yes.
I can't.
The Zoom has frozen.
I think I
am.
You
are frozen.
Frozen. I'm trying to move, but I can't.
At least it's him frozen as he's like in the middle of talking, instead of him like maybe eating or yawning.
Yeah, it's an action shot at least.
Yeah,
that's a good
definitely
point.
an action shot.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still frozen.
Yeah, you're like
talking.
it's an action shot. You talking into the mic.
Or I could be pretending to be frozen.
He has stayed very still.
Yes, my son does that to me sometimes. He stay frozen he'll stay still as if he's frozen. He got me a few times with it.
Make you think there's
exactly.
It's not an action
glitch in the Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not one of you eating triple ginger cookies. So it's not bad.
I do have my triple ginger cookies here, though. Yes.
Pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan on the line next week at Bridgestone Arena. That's a good prize, but you're gonna have to participate. But first, we must review our commish, Elijah Campbell at Hillside Medical Game Studio. What did we pick last week?
Darren, you're gonna be pleased with this one. There is a round that was made, and we'll start in the second round. Michigan given 5.5 against Tennessee, and Michigan made it easy for me. Didn't have to do any math because they won the game outright. That is 1 point for Darren. No points for Willie and D Chase, as not only they take the Vols, they both top shelved the Vols.
Ooh, doggy.
That's a big swing. Santiago Vescovi, over under 2.5 made threes against Michigan. Was on a tear leading up into that game. He was 1 for 7 in that game. 1 is less than 2.5. The under hits. 1 point for Willie. Number 3, St. Peter's, the Cinderella of the tournament, the Disco Turkeys, the Peacocks, given 8.5 against Murray State. Could they follow up the massive upset against Kentucky? And not only did they cover, they won the game and became the indirect state champs of Kentucky, the unofficial state champs of Kentucky.
Watch your mouth.
Murray State and Kentucky. They're state champs now.
Yeah, they are, Darren.
I'm giving them the title.
I don't care what you say. They are.
The Disco Turkeys have won state, and in doing so, gives Darren 2 points for top shelving St. Peter's, 1 point for Willie, no points.
Hold on, Elijah. He got 2 points for that.
You did. It was a
and he's arguing about, and he says, watch your mouth, because you said they won a state championship.
Champs. That state championship.
But he
got
benefited
Darren 2
from
points.
it. He benefited from it. Come on, Darren.
All I needed him to do was cover. I didn't care if they won or not. I just needed to cover.
Great teams cover. Greater teams win and cover. Vanderbilt, Dayton in the NIT. It was a pick'em. All three of you took the Doors, and the Doors prevailed in a fantastic game with a fantastic environment. Sent Vanderbilt one game short to going to MSG. Then next, over-under power play goals and Leafs Preds set at 1.5. And we got one. One is slightly less than 1.5, so the under hits. That is a point for Darren. No points for Willie or D-Chase. And then lastly, Roman Josi over under 1.5 points against the Leafs. He had 3 assists. So that is 3 points. The over hits. Points for everybody for taking the over on the captain's points. So, the points from last week. Darren with a 6-point week. Willie with only 4 cuts into that lead by 2. And then D-Chase, the caboose this week, as it has been for most of the season, with only 2 points. Now the standings as they look right now. Willie's still in first at 123, but Darren has gotten within 6 at 117.
To be a little bit closer.
Right now, he's cut into it just a smidge. And D-Chase, 105, still 12 back behind Darren. Darren is 16 and 13 now on Top Shelf. Sid is now the only person over 500 on Top Shelf picks. Willie at 13 and 15, and D-Chase at 13 and 16.
Hey, you hear the footsteps, Darren. He hears the footsteps. Will he tighten up?
Hoping to be like within 3 or 4.
Will he tighten up now?
Okay.
Will he make some
see.
bad
Just
picks?
a couple weeks left. All right. Let's get after it.
Number 1.
All right, number 1. We're going
Do
to
you have his picks, by the way, or no?
I do. He did send them to me, so I can read them out as well.
Good job, Billy.
Billy at least sent the picks. He just wasn't going to get roasted for not rotating his pictures this time. So first, we'll go ahead and go to the Elite 8 here. Villanova, 1.5-point underdogs against Houston, who dismantled Arizona on the defensive end. One of the only teams to do so this season, looking impressive at doing it. We can go ahead and start off with Willie. Willie leaning with the Wildcats of Villanova to cover that 1.5.
I'm going to take Houston.
As am I. They dominated Arizona.
Definitely.
I mean, they absolutely dominated them.
They are the most physical team in college basketball.
By the way, Kelvin Sampson's pretty good. Tournaments.
His only downfall, cell phones. Who would have thought?
Well, now it's laughable, though, Elisha. Just think about it.
It is, yeah.
What he did, what he got him in so much trouble, like today, is completely acceptable.
It is, yeah.
Whatever
And that's what cost him a dream job. And
Yep.
now he's taken Houston to 2 straight Elite Eights.
By the way, so is Eric Musselman.
He has, yeah. Both very impressive runs. They're back again. And speaking of Eric Musselman, number 2, Duke, 4.5-point favorites against Arkansas. Well, Willie, to kick it off, Willie was going with the Hogs here.
Mace, what are you doing?
Man, Duke is playing really good.
Although they could have lost.
They could have lost that game. They could have lost the state game.
They shot 71% in the second half against the best defense in America to win that game.
They could have lost both of them because even against Michigan State, Michigan State was up with like 4 minutes left, and I don't think Duke missed a shot after that.
That's about right.
Same kind of thing happened.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with let me go with Arkansas.
I want to go Arkansas. I definitely don't want to go Duke, but I knew everybody was going to go Arkansas. So you know what? I will go the other way. I'll take Duke minus 4.5.
Could be some potential swings here because I forgot to mention that Willie top shelved Arkansas.
Okay, for sure.
Cover
I'm going
that 4.5 points.
Number 3.
Number 3, Preds versus Flyers on Sunday. Who will have the most points? A, Philip Forsberg. B, Matt Duchene. C, Roman Josi. Or D, any other Nashville Predator?
I'm going with the house.
You going with any other?
I'm going with not the house.
D?
I'm going with Josi.
Oh. Yeah,
Not the house,
I mean,
yeah. But everybody would pick him, so I guess the house.
Insane to go against Yossi right now.
The favorite.
So, I'm going with the favorite.
If we're doing odds
and
here.
he's not doing any like point values. Like,
Exactly.
I'm
going
captain,
with Yossi.
man. Give me the captain. That's easy.
Clean sweep.
Number 4.
All right, number 4. Over under 1.5 total goals in the first period for both teams.
I'm going over.
First period, the way things been going for the Preds. In the first period, I'm going under.
Under for DJs.
You said 1.5?
1.5.
Go on and give me both teams?
For both teams.
The over-under in the first period is 1.5. I'll take over and top shelf it.
All right. He top shelves that. Willie is taking the over for that one.
Number 5.
Number 5. And number 5 and number 6 here will involve 2 Wooden Award finalists here. Paolo Banchero, a potential top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Duke's leading scorer, over under 18.5 points against Arkansas on Saturday.
I'll take the over.
18.5.
What's the average? Probably 18.5.
It's at about 18.5. I actually have. Oh, I had it up. It hovered that most of the season.
Did you do this question for Willie?
This is a Willie Daunic original.
This is a Willie special. Okay.
I'm going under.
All right. Under for D Mace here. And Willie also going with the under.
Okay.
Number 6.
And for Villanova, their Wooden Award candidate, Colin Gillespie. That he has been on an absolute tear. I believe he's hit 10 3-pointers in the first 3 tournament games. Over under 2.5 3-pointers made in their Elite 8 game against Houston.
Over. Top shelf. Top shelf, baby.
I too, I mean, just got to keep doing what he's been doing, so I will go over.
All right.
You said 2.5, right?
2.5.
Okay, yep.
So we have all of our picks, all of our top shelves. Willie also going over on that one.
Oh, man.
That's not doing anything for you, Darren.
I know. I can't get any ground. I can't gain any ground.
You're going to need Paolo Banchero to hit that over. And you're going to need Duke to cover that 4.5. And Houston. There's still a pathway here.
Okay. All right. Now it's time for you to jump in there. 615-737-1025. That's our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Jim Gaffigan tickets. I've seen him before. He's really, really funny. This will be a fun show next week, but you're going to have to participate. And you can do so on our phone lines because you'll get 2 top shelves. You can still play along at thegamenashville.com, but you'll only get 1 top shelf pick. So we'll come back to your calls next, but first I'm going to talk to you about my friends at Cool Springs MD. You know, you've heard me talk about them for years because Michelle and their experienced staff have been taking care of me for years. They have helped me become healthier and happier. They've helped me improve my quality of life, and they can do the same for you, and I know they already have with a lot of you out there listening. But for those who haven't experienced Cool Springs MD, get over there and see Dr. Jeffrey Lodge, the board-certified physician, his wife Daphne, the registered nurse, and their experienced staff. They can help you with weight loss management. Maybe you would like to shed some unwanted pounds. Well, they've got programs and products and people that can get you back on track and headed in the right direction. Rejuvenation, your appearance is important, and it gets challenging as we get older. They can discuss PRP, hair removal, Botox, and finally hormone therapy. Get your levels checked if you've been feeling off lately, or if you just haven't felt the same. You maybe don't have the same drive or energy, or experiencing mood swings. If your levels are going down, that can affect you in these categories. BHRT, testosterone, estrogen, they can discuss all these things with you and, of course, get you back going the right direction and feeling like you again. It's a state-of-the-art facility there in Cool Springs at 1642 Westgate Circle. If you want to learn everything about them, just go to their website, CoolSpringsMD.com, or you can always pick up the phone and schedule an appointment or consultation by dialing this number, 615-283-7291. That's 283-7291.
Inside knowledge on the Titans.
Todd Downing's got his notepad out right now, just writing things down. Ooh.
Inside knowledge on the Predators.
They can go right into the forecheck, and boom, you get a beautiful goal from Colton Sissons.
And then there's a team in Knoxville.
How excited should Tennessee fans be by what they've seen from Josh Heupel in year one?
Wake up and hang out with Robby and Rexrode. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Brought to you by Little Guys Movers on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
The 2022 Major League Soccer season is officially here, and Nashville SC's new home, Geodis Park, is nearly complete. Don't miss Nashville SC's home opener May 1st. Secure your season tickets now. Come on and grab a seat at NashvilleSC.com/22ticks.
It's that time of year again as college basketball's tournament is finally upon us. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is the #1 source for sports betting needs and info. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe of Darren, Daunic, and Chase. I started my radio career as an intern right here at ESPN 102.5 The Game. Now we're looking for our next great batch of interns. You think that's you? Send your resume to together@cromwellmedia.com to apply today.
You know when you're getting a good deal and when you're getting ripped off. And big brand razors are not a good deal. In fact, Big Razor spends millions on marketing to make you believe they've got something special. They don't, but you've been paying for it anyway. Harry's was founded to cut the crap and give you a square deal, a quality shave at a fair price. And to back it up, they've got a no-risk offer for you. Go to harrys.com and get their starter set. It includes a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover. It's a $13 value, all for just $3 when you use promo code 4070 at checkout. It's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't love it, no biggie. If you do, then refill blades start as low as $2, so there's no gotcha. Remember, harrys.com and enter promo code 4070 at checkout. That's promo code 4070 at checkout.
This is Colton Sissons, and this is Smashville.
Feeds now, Sissons coming onto the left circle, and Colton Sissons puts it in the net.
This is the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Interact with Darren, Daunic, and Chase. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
You gotta love that music. 4 more games tonight. Get this sucker down to 8. And then when we take to the airwaves on Monday morning, we'll be talking about the Final 4. Can St. Peter's really keep this run going tonight? Wow. I'm taking them in points. I'm just telling you right now. I've got that out on wager. Just saying. I'm taking St. Peter's in the points. It is Pick 6 time, 615-737-1025. That's our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Elijah, are we ready?
Oh, we are ready to roll. We can go ahead and start off here with my man Will. Will, welcome into Pick 6.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Fantastic. Excited for these games. And we'll go ahead and start off Villanova and Houston. Villanova plus 1.5.
I will do Villanova plus the 1.5.
All right, and we need a game total for that
one
as well.
Villanova's minus 1.5, right?
I have plus 1.5 here.
Oh, Villanova's plus?
Houston is favored.
Wow, okay.
At least according to Villy.
Okay.
The Villy Daunic Sportsbook.
Yeah. Okay, total on that, 150.
All right, fantastic. Duke, Arkansas. Duke favored by 4.5 against the Hogs.
I will do Arkansas top shelf.
All right, top shelving the Hogs. Number 3, going to Bridgestone Arena for this one. Preds Flyers. Who has the most points? A, Philip Forsberg. B, Matt Duchene. C, Roman Josi. Or D, any other Nashville Predator?
C.
Going with the captain, Roman Josi. All right, over under 1.5 total goals in the first period of said Preds Flyers game.
I'm going to go over. And Elijah, do I get 2 top shelves or one?
Indeed, you do. When you do call into the program, you do get 2 top shelves. Nice perk.
I'll make that my second.
All right, top shelving that one right there. Number 5, Paolo Banchero, Duke's leading scorer, over under 18.5 points against Arkansas.
I'll go under.
Going under for Paolo. And then Colin Gillespie, lastly, for the Villanova Wildcats. He's hit 10 3-pointers in the first 3 games of this tournament so far. Over under 2.5 3-pointers against a stout Houston defense.
Over.
Over. Fantastic. All right.
By the way, we didn't have a
all top
game
shelves.
total. He did it again. No game total.
He just got a game total for Villanova and Houston.
Okay.
He said 150, I believe.
We got that?
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Have a great weekend.
Thank
you.
All right, bye.
So we need the game total for that game?
Correct.
Villy going with the Villanova game?
Villy prefers the Villanova game
Villy
as the game total.
Vegas going for
Of course
Villanova.
Villy does. Villy's on his way back from Vegas, and he's using the Villanova game as the game total. Okay, let's go to Adam. You're up next. Welcome into Pick 6.
Thanks, man.
All right, Adam. Number 1, Villanova against Houston. The Cougs favored by 1.5. And we need a game total.
I'm going to go Houston and scoring total 135.
All right, 135. Relatively low-scoring game for Villanova's, at least. Duke and Arkansas. The Blue Devils favored by 4.5.
I'm going to go the Coach K's double top shelf.
Ooh,
snap.
Double top shelving on the retirement tour. I like it. I'm a sucker for a good double top shelf here. Number 3, Preds Flyers. Who has the most points in this game? A, Philip Forsberg. B, Matt Duchene. C, Roman Josi. Or D, any other Nashville Predator?
I'm going to go with the Flyers. I'm kidding. They just got me super salty right now. Let's go with Duchene. I think he's due.
All right. Duchene is due, he says. And over under 1.5 total goals in the first period, both teams.
Over.
Going over. And then number 5, back to the hardwood. Paolo Banchero, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils, potential top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Over under 18.5 points.
Let's go under.
Going under. A total team effort, says Adam here, to beat the Arkansas Razorbacks. Lastly, Colin Gillespie, Villanova guard, over under 2.5 3-pointers against Houston.
We'll go under that as well.
All right. Got our top shelves.
Got
as well.
everything?
Yes,
Got
sir.
everything, Elijah? Okay. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend, guys. See you.
Let's go to Justin. You're up next. Welcome into Pick 6.
Hey, guys.
All right, Justin, let's party. Number 1, Villanova, plus 1.5 against the Houston Cougars.
Give me Villanova 150.
Villanova and 150. Duke and Arkansas, the Blue Devils and Coach K's retirement tour here, favored by 4.5 against the Hogs.
Give me Duke.
Going with the Devils. Preds Flyers. Game on Sunday. Who has the most points? A, Philip Forsberg. B, Matt Duchene. C, Roman Josi. Or D, any other Predator?
Give me Philip Forsberg double top shelf.
All right. Double shelf, top shelf. I can't speak. Philip Forsberg. And then over under in this game, 1.5 total goals in the first period.
Give me the over.
Going over as well. Paolo Banchero for the Blue Devils. Over under 18.5 points.
Give me over.
Over on Paolo. And now Colin Gillespie, Villanova Wildcats. Over under 2.5.
The Magic Man on Twitter. Villanova.
Give me the over again.
Going the over on Villanova's Anticipating.
Good luck.
Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you.
You too. Villanova. That's good.
The Villanova Wildcats.
Oh, that's outstanding. So I do want to get your thoughts, and Elijah, weigh in on this as well. Rick Barnes got a contract extension yesterday from Danny White and a little bit of bump in pay. We will obviously ask Vince about this on Monday. I do wonder what the reaction has been in Knoxville. But I'll start with you, D-Mace. What do you think? What do you make of that? He's already the 5th highest paid coach in the country. Did you really need to give him a little bump in pay when you were one and done? Well, not one and done.
You were one and done.
Well,
I'm just saying that they weren't one and done.
They won a game and then they were done. So you didn't even make it to the Sweet 16.
WON and done.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Elijah. Well
so technically, I guess they were kind of one and done.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, kind of. I mean, I guess the only way I can sort of look at this is that, I know how you feel about him, Darren, especially I would say I know how you feel about him in tournament time. Like, listen, they're paying you. Yeah,
thank you for clarifying.
They're paying you all this money, and yes, you are a great one. In regular season, you're that guy, but during the March Madness, for whatever reason, you've proven not to be it. So I know where you're coming from in regards to the contract, saying, well, you're paying these coaches to win in the tournament. You can win all during the season all you want to, but if you're not advancing in the tournament, then after a while, it's like, we got to get somebody else in there. But UT decided to give him a contract extension. I think it's
through 26, 27.
Annual salary of $577 million a year, $5.77 million per year for the next 5 years. I think they hear the noise.
By the way, he'll move up because Coach K's retiring, so he's going to move up to – that eliminates him. We know he's, I think, the top-paid coach in the country, so he's going to move up to – I think he's currently the 5th highest, but he'll be the 4th highest paid coach in the country.
Well, there's one Final Four he's made.
I think they – I think –
just not in basketball.
Wow. Okay. Let me say that.
Elijah
I think
Campbell,
Danny
folks.
White. I think
Send
Danny
your
White
text to
understands.
Elijah.
At E_Campbell3 on the Bird app.
They're coming at you, bro. They're coming at you. They're going to at you. I think Danny White heard the noise, and he wanted to reassure Barnes, his coaching staff, because you got to understand they just lost one of their main coaches, their defensive guru. So he just want to assure them that, hey, they're going to be here for a while. He likes what he has done so far. Would he want more as far as tournament? Yes. But these are his words. He has built this program up. The culture is incredible under Rick Barnes, and it's basically permeated throughout Vol Nation, not just the basketball team, but throughout Vol Nation, period. So to him, along with the winning during the regular season and the first SEC championship in, 30 years?
79 since 1979.
So longer than 30 years.
Yep.
So he believes
40 years
in Rick Barnes and who he is as a coach, and I don't think you dispute that.
Okay, so I want to touch on that on the other side because I think you're bringing up an interesting point that I'm probably going to push back on. We'll do that on the other side. DDC, ESPN 5 the game.
Here they come, turn 4, final lap.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe. Join me for Chasing Checkers every Sunday morning at 8, and you can hear some of the big names in racing, like Denny Hamlin.
I always like to undersell and overdeliver.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
It would be amazing to watch a Cup race compete there again.
Kevin Harvick.
I think we learned a lot.
And several others. It's Chasing Checkers every Sunday at 8 on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's hockey time in Smashville. Join us at Bridgestone Arena on March 27th and 29th to watch your Nashville Predators take on Eastern Conference competitors, the Philadelphia Flyers, and Ottawa Senators. Single game tickets are on sale now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets. Be there for some of the biggest games of the season. It's your Preds taking on the Flyers and Senators this week in Smashville. Don't miss the next golden moment. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seat today.
Did you know that every diamond at Genesis Diamonds is over 1 billion years old? That's before dinosaurs, even before some of the stars in the sky. These elusive stones were originally formed miles beneath the Earth's surface, each one born in a volcanic explosion, yet kept hidden for generations. It's a fact that for every 1 carat diamond at Genesis Diamonds, trained miners blasted through over 200 tons of rock, and skilled experts sifted through the rubble to find the highly sought-after rough diamonds. Then expert cutters spend untold hours shaping and polishing each stone, unlocking its beauty and fire and brilliance. From the hands of the craftsman direct to you, these magical stones are your piece of eternity. Precious, rare, unique, indestructible, and treasured all over the world. Oh, and the unbeatable prices at Genesis Diamonds? They're just a bonus. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Uncompromising quality, unimaginable value.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway. Now here's Jim Mitchell.
Our fleet vehicle program is a great benefit to all the fleet companies in Nashville. We are able to get their vehicle back on the road a lot quicker than the downtime of most dealers and most general repair shops, simply because we have the transmissions available. We're able to put priority on their vehicles to get them back on the road quickly.
You know it's going to happen, and when your car needs service or repair, remember Mitchell's Mr. Transmission on Gallatin Road, just north of Briley Parkway.
Hope you started your bracket with a bang, folks, and are still going with it now because FanDuel Sportsbook is giving new customers a $150 instant bonus guaranteed. Joe Rexrode here to let you know you can get $150 in bonus site credit. All you got to do is place your first bet of $5 or more. How you bet the rest of the bracket is up to you. Of course, we're coming down to it now, and soon enough we're going to have a Final Four, a very surprising Final Four. 3 number 1 seeds not making the Elite Eight. That has rarely happened in this tournament. Now, of course, when you're betting this stuff, you can choose money line, totals, prop bets, so much more. I will tell you one thing, one team that I just really like, and I know, maybe it's obvious, but Houston right now, Houston looks awfully good. That is not a 5 seed. Another thing to keep in mind, with cash out the balls in your court, you can close out your bet whenever you want before a game is over. Join FanDuel today with promo code Joe102. You place your $5 bet to score $150 in bonus site credit guaranteed. That's promo code Joe102 on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You must be 21 or older in present Tennessee. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbet.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 800-889-9789.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Pekka Rinne. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The
Game. Back here on the DDC, so Rick Barnes gets an extension through 26-27, little bump in pay. He's already the 5th highest paid coach in the country. He'll move up to 4 when Coach K retires, whenever they're done. It raises the question, and D. Mason's like, Danny White's probably heard. That's the AD at Tennessee. He's probably heard all the noise and just wants to reassure everybody he's their guy. Well, I don't understand that mentality. Well, why does he need to prove to everybody that he's paying Rick Barnes? He's already shown him he's his guy. He's the 5th highest paid coach in the country. What does he need to show him more love? And this whole notion like, hey, we need to make sure that the coach has got a long contract so, he can use it for recruiting purposes. Like, come on. Can we stop using that line, please? These kids are smart enough now. A contract doesn't mean anything. These schools like Tennessee, schools in the SEC, Power 5 conferences, if they don't like you, they don't care what they owe you. They don't care how many years you have left. They're going to be like, what's your buyout? Goodbye. See you later. It doesn't matter. We've already proven that. We've gone through this, right? It was like, well, he's got an $18 million buyout. They can't get rid of him. They're stuck. Really? No, they just stroked a check. They just got rid of him. So the whole notion, like, we've got to show solidarity. We got to show that we're behind him and he's going to be here a while. Man, kids today and their families, they know if you're not winning, it doesn't matter how much longer you have on your contract. Today's athletics in Power 5 conferences with the donors that they have and the deep pockets they have, they don't care. You're gone. Okay, so that whole notion of we've got to have he can't be down to like a year or two left for recruiting purposes. We've got to tell him he's going to be here a while. By the way, you don't think people are using Rick Barnes' age against him? I mean, they're always going to be using something against him. I mean, you're paying him. You're already showing him he's your guy. You're paying him as the 5th highest paid coach in the country. Why do you need to show him anymore? They did this with Jeremy Pruitt and they got burned. When we sat here and had this exact same conversation. No, Philip Fulmer, you don't need to extend him. Nobody's coming in here to swoop in and take Jeremy Pruitt.
But Jeremy Pruitt's resume is nothing like Rick Barnes.
Then why did Philip Fulmer give him an extension and a raise?
I don't know why he did that, but I'm just saying if you're comparing the two, I mean Rick Barnes' resume is way better than what you call his resume was.
Of course,
and
he was a first-time coach.
Yeah, so if you're looking at it, I mean, I understand why you are so hesitant and pushing back. And you have every right, and you're right because of what happens in the tournament. But this man, he's a hell of a coach. He's only had, 2 or 3 losing seasons in his career. When he got to Texas, turned that whole program around. Since he's been here in Knoxville, he's gotten that program to be relevant again, actually more than relevant. But I know and I understand what you're saying. It's like all of that is good. You're right. All of that is great. And we brought you in to be our coach because of what you did at Texas. But we need you to take it a little bit further than just being a great or very good regular season coach. We need you to go a little bit further in the tournament. And that's valid. It's truly valid. So, I'm just giving you maybe what Danny White is thinking. This guy, this culture is great. Seems the guys love him. He recruits well. So I'm going to hold on to him as long as I can. Now, yeah, they can fire him, in 2 years or 3 years, or some other school can come in and say, hey, listen, Rick, we want you. We're going to give you more than what UT is paying you. That can happen too. But they're looking around like, who else can we go get, that's better than Rick Barnes?
I don't think you need to give him an extension, though. It's not like it means you're going in another direction. It just means, like, what? Why do you need to give – he's not going anywhere. You don't need to – did he need a bump in pay?
They thought he was going to where? UCLA, didn't they?
Well, yeah, and that's how he got to be the 5th highest paid coach in the country.
Mm-hmm. They don't want that to happen again.
Well, let's go to Rob on our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. What's up?
Hey there, and I've heard about Rick Barnes on the radio a lot lately about how he's just a good regular season coach and can't win in the postseason, especially from that guy that comes on after you guys. But if you look at it, by giving him that extension, I don't know about the raise, but I can see the extension not letting him go anywhere because you got Mark Few at Gonzaga. He wins in the regular season, has better talent probably than Rick Barnes every year, but can't win in the postseason. And it happens every year with him, but you don't hear that about Mark Few. Tennessee would take Mark Few in a heartbeat and make him the highest paid coach in college basketball probably.
Mark Few has been to 2 national championship games.
Has he won one?
No, but he's been to 2 title games at Gonzaga.
In 2 in 25 years? I mean, but he still hasn't won in the postseason. Just like this year, the number 1 seed supposed to go to the national championship again, and they're out before the Elite Eight.
I understand what you're saying, Rob. One, it's Gonzaga. Gonzaga was a program nobody even heard of until Mark Few got there. Tennessee is not. Tennessee basketball program is storied. They've had great players come through there. And, yes, they haven't won an SEC title since 1979. I get it. We just talked about it when they won in Tampa. But I mean, Mark Few literally put Gonzaga on the map. And, oh, by the way, he's been to like 10 Sweet 16s. He's been to Elite Eights and 2 title games. Rick Barnes has been to 1 Final Four. 1.
I don't disagree with you, but in the last 15 to 20 years, Gonzaga's program is way above Tennessee's program at this time. And I agree,
true.
Mark, you established that. But when it comes to postseason wins and winning a national championship, you don't know who finishes second. I can't remember who finishes second every year. It's all about winning the national championship, and Few hasn't done that, just like Rick Barnes hasn't.
Well, Gonzaga lost to Baylor in the national championship game last year.
What? Exactly. Well, that was because it's last year. You remember it, but I'm just saying he still hasn't won the national championship. But anybody in their right mind would take Few, and there's schools out there that would take Rick Barnes because he gets them into the tournament every year and gives them a chance to.
Yeah. All right, Rob. Thank you for the phone call. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think it's at times I feel like I'm back to the Mariota thing. It's not personal. Like Rick Barnes is a great dude. He's a really good coach. But isn't it okay to question like why he can't ever get anywhere in the tournament? Why does it always happen on his watch? By the way, Eric Musselman's been to back-to-back Elite Eights at Arkansas. Kelvin Sampson, back-to-back Elite Eights at Houston. There's certain coaches, why doesn't it affect them? I mean, I get it. In a one-and-done situation, these are not NBA 7-game series. I understand because we know, half of these upsets that happen in a 7-game series or even a 5-game series, it wouldn't happen, right? But that's not how the tournament's set up. That's what we love about it. If it's not your night, you may go home, no matter who you are. And 2 number ones went down last night in the Sweet 16. By the way, Arizona didn't have a prayer. Didn't have a prayer. I mean, Houston, they were the better team. By the way they looked last night, I'm not sure that Arizona would even win the series the way it looked last night. Gonzaga and Arkansas probably different, but it doesn't matter. Arkansas was the better team last night, and they didn't fold under pressure. They stayed with it. And every time Zags made a run, Arkansas found a way to hang in there, just keep taking punches and keep staying in the lead.
Well, to your point, he's only been to 3 Sweet 16s since 1998. And he had some really good teams in Texas. And obviously he's had some good teams here in Knoxville.
I think he's gone to 4. I think he did it twice at Texas.
He did it twice at
once
Texas.
Once at Clemson and once
No,
at
I'm
UT.
just saying since he got to Texas. He's done it 4 overall.
4 times overall.
Yeah, 4
right.
times overall, but he's done it since he got the Texas job. He's only done it 3 times. He did it twice with Texas and once with Tennessee.
Yep.
So I get it, and he should have. And people are looking at it like you should have went more than once with the squads that you've had, especially here in Knoxville. They're in Knoxville this year in particular.
I mean, the year they went to the Sweet 16, they won 31 games.
They should have been in the national championship game that year.
This year they won 27.
I think that team
and won
with
one
Schofield
game in the
and all
tournament.
Them, that probably was their best team they've had since he's been coaching UT. Yeah.
Oh, you talking the 2018-19 season?
Yep. When they had Schofield and Bone and all. Yeah, that team should have won the national championship. Honestly, if you're looking at just the squad in general, yeah, that was a big disappointment.
They went 15-3 in the conference that year.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep excusing away like why this stuff keeps happening over and over and over again. Like you are judged by this. I mean, fair or unfair, that's how coaches are judged ultimately. Yes, he does all kinds of other good stuff, which is why he keeps getting big-time jobs and why he keeps getting paid because he recruits well. The players love him. Everybody around the program loves him. He's a great coach. They do fantastic in the regular season. But for whatever reason in the tournament, it's like Gag City all the time. It was the easiest prediction, and people got mad when I said it. I was like, I'm not going to trust him this year. I'm not going to do it. I'm not falling for it. I've watched it over and over, and I've been burned in the past. And I agree with you. That team should have made a longer run. Mm-hmm. They were really good. And, yeah, they lost a tough one. But, why does this stuff keep happening? All right, we'll come back. We'll get our best shots of the weekend. Call it a week. We'll do that next.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobis. No issues going into our weekend. The possibility of an isolated shower on your Friday can't be ruled out, but most of the day stays mostly cloudy and dry. Also on the cooler side. High temperatures today in the upper 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Willie Daunic here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Proud to announce that they have won the Top Gun Award for the best Pella sales organization in the U.S. They have the best culture, best customer satisfaction, and best growth in the business. To celebrate, Pella is offering their amazingly affordable products at 0% financing with no payments for 12 months. Do you need new doors or windows? I suggest you shop with Nashville's Pella experts at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Go to PellaofNashville.com.
Tune in to ESPN 1025 The Game every Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 for ESPN's Trevor Maddich joining me, Jared Stillman, on Stillman & Company as we dive deep into the college football world and all the latest from the SEC. It's all brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics, when experience matters.
Your home value is way up. You can use that money now to pay off credit cards or remodel your house, or both. Hey, Willie Daunic for Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto can convert that home equity into cash as little as 2 weeks from now with no cost to you and zero hassle. Mike and Joan in Brentwood called Loan Pronto and they did a Loan Pronto zero cost cash out refi. They got a check for $100,000. They used $50,000 to pay off all of their credit cards and a car loan. Use the other $50K to upgrade their master bath and kitchen. They locked in a new APR in the 2s and lowered their total monthly bills by hundreds of dollars. Hello? What are you waiting on? Call Loan Pronto now and convert your home value into cash. Put that money to good use. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780 or lowpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
When Smashville wants to rock. Nashville's rock station. 1029 The Buzz. So, what is Jared Stillman going to say this afternoon?
You got to play if you want to earn $14.6 million next year.
Oh, brother, here we go.
But I'm done on investing money in dudes that can't get on the field.
Tune in to Stillman & Company, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6.
This is some serious stuff right here.
Delivered by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you've missed any of today's show, just search Darren, Daunic, and Chase on Apple, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast platform.
All right, Dave's playing. You know we're rounding third. We're headed home. Let's go on and get in our best shots of the week. It's what it feels like. I think, to me, it seems like you can get that polo at Macy's, or you can get that polo at TJ Maxx.
It may have a little
It
stain
may have
on it.
it may have the tag, the tag in the back's got a cut in it.
Exactly, or a little small hole.
A little small hole.
You really can't
you
see
really
it.
tell
Yeah.
if you, especially if you tuck it in.
Exactly.
Like you can't tell. But there's something a little off with it, right? It's the same polo that they sell at Macy's for a lot more. That you're getting that same polo, but there's just a little.
Something wrong with it. Little defect.
Something's wrong with it, right?
Little
Just
defect.
And you're getting it at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but is that a fair assessment? Is that what you're saying? There's a lot of bargain bin shopping.
No, you nailed it. You hit it. You nailed the nail right on the head.
Wes Durham, now he's in the Titans division in the AFC South with the Colts. And when I look
let
at
me tell you something now, Coach. It's, they got good overnight. Let's put it that way at that position.
That's for sure.
The odds certainly went up after that deal for sure, but they've got to pay that contract. But the Falcons have a lot of dead money. I think a lot of people, and that's small sampling, Wes, just on social media, were surprised that really how little it took for Indy to get him. Were you surprised?
I think a lot of people probably were. I wasn't, because I felt like, again, I think that, you guys know this from probably seeing it go down with the Titans. At times, sometimes this becomes about personalities existing in the room the next year, right? When something like this becomes as public as it did last week, how hard was it going to be for Matt Ryan or Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot to go back to work at the same facility?
Tim Hasselbeck.
I do think going to Seattle would make sense for him. But I also think being a backup some places would make sense for him. And I'll throw one out there that I don't think is crazy. I've heard that they're not interested. But, would you sign Baker Mayfield to a backup deal here in Tennessee? Would you sign him to just a standard backup contract here?
Wow, you think there's nothing more out there for him? That's amazing.
Well, what's out there? Let's if we go through it for real. If you go through it, so we think Seattle's an option. Look, Houston's probably not an option, or else it would have been in the trade. They're probably not interested. Carolina has basically said no, we're not interested. So what are we talking about?
We're running out of openings.
And that's what people are saying about me. That's not good. If that's the compliment you're getting, he's a really good blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. What was that?
Elijah.
What was that?
Nothing.
Is that your phone?
Let's keep going.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Man, these iPhones are they do some of the craziest things. You can set up your iPhone to do some of the craziest. And Elijah said this yesterday, because I plugged up my phone and he heard what it said. There's nothing bad. But he was like, man, if you plug it up one day on the air and just let it play. And I didn't even think about it then. I just plugged it up and it said it.
How many people were listening and were just like, what did I just hear?
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
Siri said what?
Ryan Tannehill knows what's being said, and he's going to know when they report to training camp this summer. He's going to. Yep, I heard it that time. Yep, something, daddy.
It's just when I plug my phone up, it said charge me up. It just charges up. That's how.
Okay.
That's how it said.
Charge me up, daddy. Is that you in third person? Do you call yourself daddy?
Elijah's cracking up over there.
Charge me up, Daddy.
Oh, that was priceless yesterday.
Oh, man. We have many priceless moments on this show.
Oh, we do.
Many of them.
We do.
A few of them happened today.
A few of them did happen today.
Yeah, sure enough, sparked the conversation very early today.
Well, I know a lot of people, everybody's got their feelings on it and, has heard a lot of the discussion earlier in the show. I truly hope that I meant what I said about A.J. Brown, and he didn't care what I say. He cares about what you say because he wants to be you one day, and so that's cool. But to be you, then there's going to be a lot of eyeballs always on him and always watching what he says and does, and he just has to. I just hope he understands that. A.J. Brown he's close to a superstar in the league, right? He's very close. He's very, very close to being a superstar in the league, and he's going to want to get paid. And if he gets that big, huge contract, and he's a number one receiver in the NFL, and if he wants to be active on social media, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like I always have told athletes, you can go out. You don't have to be a hermit. You can go out. Just don't be a ding-dong when you go out. Don't go to strip clubs and do dumb things. Don't go out and
Start fights.
Break the law or shoot guns or start fights. Just don't. You're allowed to go out. You're allowed to have a social life. You're allowed to do something. You're allowed to be a person, but just be smart about it. And he's allowed to be on social media. That's cool. I mean, most young athletes are. But, just understand that the more your star rises, the brighter it gets. Everybody's going to hinge on every word you say.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope he understands that. It was not a good tweet. And I know it was probably – I feel very comfortable it wasn't malicious. There was not intent to stir up anything, get attention to himself. But also, he's got to learn from that. Those 6 words were just not the right 6 words, in my opinion. He may disagree, but the fact that he's already deleted it and he's done everything that he's done the last, 4 hours tells me that he probably agrees that maybe he could have worded it differently.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably, looked back and said, maybe I could have, and we all do it, maybe I could have worded it different and said it a little bit different. Because, again, you go back to when you put it out, that was your truth. You probably didn't mean for it to come off that way, but you left no wiggle room to suggest otherwise. But then you take it down because it's not you that's getting the flack. It's somebody else in your locker room that, it's almost like collateral damage. It's like the guy that you didn't even mention is getting all the flack.
Right.
So you had to take it down. And, hey, listen, he said what he said. He came, I don't even want to say he came at me, but he approached me via Twitter in a respectful manner, and I respect that, So that's all I can say about it.
I do too, D-Mace. And I said it earlier, and I'm going to